going with a bit of a new layout with this one. But yeah, as people are rolling in, yes, we got a new server for it, so you don't have to join any of our cringe communities for it. So
Yes.
what's up?
I don't even know if I want to set up my face cam, to be honest, bro. I'm so
it's
tired.
probably
I'm so tired.
it's probably a crossword puzzle.
Got the beanie on right now.
It's funny. Very like 10 minutes before we started is when I finished Arcane season 2.
All right. I guess we'll just start off. Is Kronos coming? Cause didn't he wanna?
He should be, but you know.
Is he even in the server?
Let me check. No, he is not. I don't know where Kronos is. What is the point of having two different sets of your icons glowing when you talk, though? Fuck you, Batnik. Ugh.
Actually, I'll just I don't know where to put my. Actually, I'll just put it right here, I guess.
Wow. Circles.
The Batman is my favorite movie of all time. I'm so sad Part 2 coming out in 2027. I thought it was 2026.
No, they're like pushing it back. So.
Fuck. Why we gotta do this, man? First Beyond and now Batman. Like, come on, man. Why you doing this to me, bro? Why you doing?
You gotta cook.
Wasn't the first one in development for like 6 years?
I don't know. Well, yeah, but a lot of it's because of it being a DCEU movie at first. So.
Yo, I low-key still want that Ben Affleck Batman movie.
I don't really care. Could have been.
I don't even want it to be in the DCAU. I just want a fucking like a Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck's Batman, like a live action adaptation or some shit. That would be dope.
Damn. Sonic 4 also coming out in 2027. Interesting.
Ben Affleck is like, it's funny because actually no, I can't even say that. Tom's probably got the worst Spider-Man movies.
Smokey's here. Mr. Smokey.
I think fucking. I feel like Ben Affleck is with Batman what Andrew was to Spider-Man. They just got cucked by their writing team.
They really did.
So did Tom Holland, but like. Yo, Colin and SK, what are your thoughts on Sonic 3? Read the description, my brother.
Masterpiece.
I think it's either an 8 or a 9. I think it's way on a writing level. It's way better than the first two. Oh yeah,
I'm gonna make an accommodation for you, Batnik, since you keep crying.
So, I'll start off with the Sonic 3 shit. So this one I slightly conceded to. It was just something I wish was explored a little bit more. And it was, why did Shadow stay at the facility, like, to begin with, like, before he met Maria? And they were, like, experimenting on him. I don't know why he stayed. The answer that Bolt gave to me was, like, that like when they're in the facility and they're like doing the whole like Sonic's or Shadow's watching the movie with the girl, he like sees himself as an outsider. He doesn't know if he'll be accepted if he leaves. I just wish they kind of explained that a little more or explored that a little more before he met Maria, because it kind of just cuts to like, okay, they capture him and then we don't know how long he's there, and then Maria's there. And then, you know, at the ending, when Knuckles and Tails save Robotnik,
Yeah.
they should have got there like way earlier.
Yeah, probably.
And then my other issue is just kind of an overarching thing, is literally just like, they try to keep the tone of the first two movies, but they also try to make it way more emotional than the first two movies, and like a lot of the jokes in the movie undercut the emotional moments. I didn't really
Some of it, yeah.
like the one where the thing that really pissed me off, and like I get why Wade has the Master Emerald even though he's a bit of an idiot, but fucking like they had this really good emotional scene between Knuckles and Sonic, and then it just cuts to fucking Wade with the most powerful thing in the universe. Just he's playing hockey with it on a roof. And just like, okay. That's awesome. Lots of people, thank you for the $5, Kay. I appreciate it a lot. A lot of people complain about Robotnik having hair in the first movie. What's your thoughts on that? I think they're fat.
I just did Kronos, so you can stop worrying.
I don't have perms in this server, by the way.
Yeah,
you gotta like fix this. No, the chat thing's locked for me. I can only join if I'm dragged.
Alright, well, in that case, I'm gonna have to, because I swear the role is like, it has administrative power. Unless it doesn't. Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
The only explanation I would have liked is, why does Shadow look like Sonic in the movie universe?
Why do you look like me? Why do I look like you? Why do you look like me?
I don't look like you. You look like me.
Dude, my favorite joke in the movie is when they get caught by the military lady, Robotnik, and his fucking his grandfather. And then he's like, I can't believe it happened. He's like, I know, a woman in the military. And then they start fucking busting a move right when they're fucking doing the heist. That shit was so funny.
Oh, bro, when they were dancing the lasers, a peak.
I also like the joke where it was like, it's as if we were two characters in a movie played by the same actor.
Nah, bro, I'm surprised Jim Carrey can still move like that at his age.
Yeah,
and then like in the fat suit and everything too. Like, this is why he's the GOAT.
How old is Jim Carrey? Like 50 or something?
I think he's a bit older than that. Let's see. Jim Carrey.
He's quite a bit older than that.
He's 62.
Yeah.
He's 62. Bro can pull out. Damn, if I can move like that at 62, you're happy, man.
Alright, do you want to drag people in now?
Yeah, alright, we'll do Matt Hodgson, since he was here first. What's up?
Matt. You are on the line.
What is your motherfucking disagreement?
You guys hear me? Can you hear me alright, guys?
Yeah, we can.
Alright, hello. How are
What is
we
up?
all? How are we doing? We fresh and relaxed this evening?
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm fresh in 24 hours of fucking no sleep.
How come
this
you were up for
evening.
24 hours, Colin?
Because if I fell asleep, I wouldn't be streaming right now. I'd be sleeping.
Okay, anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff and just ask a couple questions. First of all, how was Christmas? Was it all good?
Pretty good,
yeah, it's pretty solid.
Alright. So, anyway, wanted to just talk a little bit about Sonic 3. I think the movie's bloody awesome. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was easily best of the three. One issue I did have with it, this was probably my only real plot issue with the movie. That's after the big, the gravity room scene.
Mm-hmm.
It was right after that. So you know how director Rockwell, she gets away with the key card and then she gets out of the room. And right after she's back in the hallway, she sees Tom, and he's disguised as the commander, and he's got like a brace on.
Mhm.
I thought, and then she talks to him, and then he just says some stuff to her, and then he's like, "Give me the key card, I'm your commander," and then she just gives it to him, despite the fact that she saw his dead body earlier. I just thought that was kind of weird. Like, he didn't really have to convince her that hard to get it from her. She gave it up really easily, and I just thought that was a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say for that, honestly, is just like, it was just kind of like a really fucking crazy scenario they were just in, so I don't think she really had much time to like kind of ask a bunch of questions like that.
Well, also, he's
Because
the superior here. If he's just saying, like, yeah, I'm here, do what I say.
I don't really know if she saw it. Well, I don't know if she really saw
Well, she
like.
did see his body. She
No,
did.
no, no.
She did.
Yeah. I'm saying I don't know if she like necessarily knew like if they confirmed the kill or whatever. She saw his body, but like if they just like kept his like death like and he came back, they didn't tell her that he was like alive.
Yeah, maybe
Which I
if I
suppose in this
rewatch it,
profession it's
maybe.
not unheard of.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I might have to rewatch it, but yeah, that's a take it or leave it criticism, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of crazy that Bro survived that punch from Shadow, but I actually
quite a while. It did nearly kill him.
Nah, I just kind of I wish he actually died. I think it would have hit
Oh wow,
harder.
really? That would have been a
Really?
bit dark, Colin. What movie do you think you're watching?
Sonic movie, apparently.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That was. I just wanted to say a couple things, and then I'll jump. I won't be on as long as I was on the last one, but SK just wanted to say Guardians 3 EFAB, fucking masterpiece. My god, you fucking cooked with that shit.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I need to genuine question. How the fuck did you and Stir get through that? Like, serious question. How did you get through that?
I asked myself the same question, to be honest.
Do you need the Chaos Emeralds to get through it?
Yeah, honestly.
Yo, Kay, thank you for the
to keep up with this shit.
Kay, thank you
Yeah,
for the
that's
membership. 2
fair.
months. Appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, but SK, that was bravo, man. I could not believe no one else has called that stream out before you did, because I'd never even heard of it until I saw you were mentioning it. Oh my god. Also, I love as well they say, oh yeah, Mantis was character assassinated because she removed a minute of Drax's memories. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's just
There was
crazy.
so many points during that I wanted to destroy my laptop.
But you see, Spider-Man No Way Home is a masterpiece, though.
Yeah, Spider-Man No
Didn't
Way
they
Home
say
got
it-
all the characters right except Doctor Strange, according to them.
I thought they gave No Way Home a 5.
They did. I think they moved it to a 4, but still, that's just like, wow, that's fucking generous. Considering how
I mean, I will
you have
say,
things.
agree to disagree. I quite like No Way Home. I agree with a lot of the writing issues with it. I think it's decent fun, but I agree it's not great. It's not as good as other movies like Deadpool, Wolverine, Guardians 3, but that, yeah, so I'm fine with them liking it, but it's just inconsistent standards is the problem.
Yeah, I just
Colin,
find it
the
really
next
funny
thing-
how they defend that, but they've reached so hard to shit on Guardians 3. That's just crazy.
Colin, next thing I want to say was to you, the Amio Arcane response video. My god, that guy is such a moron. Thank you for making that video. You need to complete the saga. I'm begging you to complete the saga.
I probably would have done it by now. I'm genuinely just I can't get off Marvel Rivals. I'm having too much fun.
I gotta
Yeah,
play Marvel Rivals.
that.
I haven't touched it yet. I'll have to get on it.
it's such a good game.
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
fucking
right.
good.
I haven't seen the video.
It's also
yet.
free, so
Based.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I've watched some more of Amio's video, and oh my god, his points are so bad. He literally says the Black Rose killed Mel's friend for no reason, and that Isha's death was pointless, and like Oh my god. Also, do
Well,
you
I
want to know
saw,
something
dude.
weird?
I saw someone in my comments like responded because like when he was like saying, "Oh, Isha has no character arc or whatever. She's a nothing
Which
character
is
or whatever."
bullshit.
I was like, well, one, it's just not even really true. Like, she does have parts of her character. She's not the most complex character in the show, but like, she's
She
an
doesn't have
impact.
to be.
She's an impact character. And this dude in my comments is like, well, you didn't even really refute his criticism. What he said still stands. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? It's an impact character. Those aren't bad things for a story to have. Vander.
That's like saying C3PO is a bad character because he's not that much
Well,
developed in the original Star Wars movies.
Well, yeah, it's like criticizing fucking the Arcane season 1 for having Vander or
Yeah.
Vi and Jinx's family there who die in like the first 3 episodes. Like, it's so dumb.
Well, no, Vi's parents die off screen because at the start of the show we just see them dead on the bridge.
Well, yeah.
One of the funny thing I wanted to say is I know you said you're not going to respond to EFAT's coverage on it, which is fair enough. I don't blame you at all for that. But what's funny is that Amio, he actually uses a lot of points EFAB have used. So if you respond to the rest of it, you are technically already debunking a lot of EFAB's points on it.
Yeah, I got a couple comments telling me he's just taking EFAP criticisms. I'm not gonna say he's literally taking them from EFAP because I don't know if he
No, I
actually
don't think he
watches
is.
them,
It's just
but-
coincidence. But he literally says a lot of the similar stuff like,
So they're just
"Oh, Isha's
coincidentally
not,
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he says, Isha's not a character; she's just a manipulative plot device." He literally uses the Jinx tunnel bit, you know, that EFAB said. He literally says that in the verbatim in the episode.
Oh, what the whole like? How did
Wow.
Vander
Vander
get
get
in
in the
there?
tunnel?
Oh my
Like, how did
god.
the-
Okay,
he
maybe he is
literally
using
says that
EFAP.
verbatim.
That's so dumb.
He also says as well, why is the show saying that the letter would have repaired Vander and Silco's relationship? And the reason I hate that criticism so much is because I recently rewatched the season with a friend. Literally after Jinx reads it, she says if he had found this, everything might have been different.
Yeah.
What do you think the word might means?
It's, I think. Well, the thing that mentally broke me about that fucking video really was the fucking when I had to
All of
power. Well, yeah, but like when I got to the point about the mirror
yeah.
thing, I was like,
The mirror,
God
power
damn,
scaling the mirror.
bro. I was like, holy shit, man. Why do I have to
Do you know what
respond
my
to
favourite
this?
part was? My favourite part was at the start where he says like the music video sections at the start of the first 5 episodes. Oh, they're pointless. They go on for too long and they rush certain character and story points. And I was like, wait, so they're too long, but they also rush things. Like,
Well, the thing about
dude,
the thing about the music video sequences that annoys me, like that criticism annoys me
wrote a
so much.
comment on his video explaining the point of all of them.
Well, yeah, they literally all of them are literally all of them are just set up for things that are about to be explored more. Like Jinx
Yeah, like,
walking
for
through the
example,
city.
yeah.
Literally what happens in the episode. We see what Jinx is
Zucker
doing in the
is
fucking.
showing what's happened with Jinx in the Undercity. Hellfire, it's showing Caitlyn's thought process and how they're going about the mission, the group of enforcers. Cocktail Molotov at the start of 5 is showing Vi's headspace, and the lyrics of that perfectly show what she's thinking. Like when it goes, "Lock me up, I've gone and jinxed it, throw my cocktail Molotov." Like I like that song so much more now after a rewatch.
Yeah.
I gotta laugh at this real quick. Ryan Kittle just dropped a video saying, I put it in the general chat, saying Norman and Harry
I've just
Osborn are
seen it.
black in
Oh,
Marvel's
okay.
new Spider-Man show. And just look at this fucking
Have you seen
thumbnail of Spider-Man going, "You're
Yeah.
black."
Oh yeah. Wait, did you ever see that that meme that he has in the fucking thumbnail?
No, I've seen it. I've seen it all over.
That shit's so funny. I'm honestly kind of mad though, because if they were gonna make Norman black, or that skin tone color, why would they not make it Giancarlo Esposito, bro? He could be such a good Norman Osborn.
Yeah, good point actually. Yeah. I just wanted to ask, have you seen the trailer for that, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? I think it looks
I
pretty
have
awesome.
seen it. I think it looks all right overall. I don't know how I'll feel about all the story choices. But
Well,
I
it's
think
not related to the MCU, it's a separate continuity.
thankfully. But I think the animation looks solid overall. Some
Oh, I
weak
love
parts,
the
but
look
some
of the
really strong
animation.
parts as well. So
I don't
have to
care,
see.
dude. People, dude, fucking, they was in there. They was on my ass for saying that fucking like Liam and JP and shit were on my ass for saying fucking the animation looks really good. And I'm like, nah, bro, you guys are tweaking. That shit does look good.
I mean, I wouldn't
does,
say it
bro.
looks like top tier, but I think it's solid.
It's not
Yeah, it's
Arcane
not like
level.
fucking. Yeah, I was about to say it's not like Arcane level. It's like
Yeah.
it still looks good. I like the fluidity of like the web swinging shots.
Yeah.
The web swinging
I
shots
love the
look
suit.
fucking.
I really like the suit.
sick.
He's got. I think the suit looks good.
Thought the reflections were good. Or sorry, the reflection shot. Excuse me.
Well, it looks like I like how the art style looks like the Ditko era style thing in like 3D animation. I really like that.
There'll be hundreds of people there.
The fuck?
I'll warn London to get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. Go
What are you
home.
playing?
Contact you there.
Yo,
Oh,
Chrono,
sorry, my bad. That's audio. That's audio from my controller.
Dude, I had this guy DM me. He was like, hello, I'm trying to hop in the next Disagreement Day. You think season 2 of Arcane was the 10 out of 10? I think it's more like a 4 out of 10. I think most of the characters were completely massacred, and I like to talk about Jace
I'm
in
on the
particular.
stream, Pimpin. I'm on the stream, Pimpin.
Yeah, he's not here, but maybe he'll.
Also, I just want to ask, have you seen the trailer for Superman, James Gunn's Superman?
I did.
Yes.
It looks excellent.
Oh, I can't wait. It looks peak. My most anticipated comic book movie for next year, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Alright,
don't know what competition there is. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright,
Thunderbolt and Fantastic Four could be good.
Hold on, I think we should probably get to the dudes waiting in the.
All right, yeah.
I'll just wrap up and then I'll get out of here. Just want to say, guys, thanks so much for this year's worth of content. You've been so entertaining. I've loved watching all the stuff, the videos, the streams, and everything.
Sure.
You guys are flipping awesome, and I have nothing but respect for the way you guys call out BS and bullshit from stupid people. And yeah, just thanks a lot.
Happy, made me smile.
New Year, and, can't wait to see what you guys do next. So see you guys.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
happy New Year.
Thanks.
See you
bro.
later.
Bye, guys.
Have a happy
Appreciate
New
it.
Year.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right.
Detective Charlie. Oh man. This guy was here first, I think. Yo, we got Queer Marshall.
I'm gonna take care of something real quick, but I'll be muted. But just keep going.
Okay. I don't know if this person's here.
Oh shit.
Yo.
Hello?
Kiera. Yo.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
We
Yes,
can hear
we
you.
hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear
We
us?
hear you. We hear you. What is your disagreement?
Sorry, I'm using my my laptop. Sorry.
It's all good.
Perfectly fine.
A minute, wait. Are you here? Kiera?
My microphone is delayed, so you're gonna have to deal with some bad audio for a second.
Alright, well, just let me know when you
Alright,
get
no
that
problem.
fixed up.
Shit, where is it? Oh, there it is.
So my criticism was I agree with you that Arcane season 2 was great.
Mhm.
Although the 10, I'd say I enjoyed season 2 more than I did with season 1. There was more to dissect and more to pull back from season 2 to season 1. There is one thing I was curious about that maybe you picked up on that I didn't. And it's about Mel becoming a mage.
Mhm.
How it goes in episode 8, I feel like there was some parts that I missed that maybe you picked up on that I didn't. So if you could add some input on that, please.
Yeah, what I mean, like, what's the confusion?
Well, when I tried to look for details back then, maybe it was adding to that, but I heard that the gold plates on her body, she was referred to in the behind the scenes of the exclusive DVD as the woman with the golden tattoos, which makes sense. She wouldn't wear armor because she's a pacifist. and how the armor stays on her body. She never takes it off, whether she's converting from her white dress or her black dress. And it's more present when she sees Mbessa coming into Piltover. She even has it on her body when she's in bed with Jace. And then when it shines under her white dress in episode 9, and that she's not even aware of how she survived. I wonder, like, was this just an innate thing? Was she just never aware of it? Mbessa know? Did Mbessa know before she banished her? Essentially,
Yeah, I think.
and
Well,
she's just now finding out
yeah,
about it in episode 8.
yeah. So Mbessa did know about it. Like that was the whole thing that Mel was being told by her sister that like her mother lied to her about like having an affair and stuff and having two different like parents for both of their kids. And I do think the thing with Mel's like magic that she has, I think it's very much something she wasn't aware of, and it's something that like saved her out of like emotion and like a really stressful situation. It like kind of showed up. A good comparison I can think of is like X-Men. Some X-Men, they don't get their powers until like they get put into a really stressful situation. And then like their powers just kind of activate, and I think that's kind of what happened with Mel. And then like when she starts to like uncover a little goddamn Kronos. You just breathe heavy as shit.
Oh my bad. I'm concentrating.
When she starts to like uncover like the stuff with the Black Rose, I think it kind of comes naturally to her because I forget the exact line of dialogue, but she's like talking to her like brother, and she's like going through the little puzzle thing, and she's like, I've seen this kind of thing before. So there's like been hints of that kind of magic. She just probably never fully understood it because she got sent off to Piltover as like a kid where they like don't really do magic stuff in Piltover. At least until the Hextech.
Does make sense.
What? Hello?
Hello? Oh boy.
Yeah, what did you say?
Yeah, that does make sense because are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, just found my headphones. Yeah, it does make sense because they also made it very diegetic. Us audience are wondering, this is out of nowhere, but even Mel is like, this is a whole new thing for me. Even I don't know how to understand this. This blood is alien to me. And I just thought maybe that is okay. They'll be exploring her character later in Noxus anyway when we get there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they're gonna do more with her magic stuff. But I think it's very much just like what they did with her this season was just kind of understanding the power that she has and starting to use it. Like she's probably not as powerful right now as she could be, potentially.
Yeah, that does make sense. Also, there was a criticism I found in the chat about the Black Rose, about how we could have known about them a little bit more.
I don't really think we needed to. I think because the story's focused on is what the conflict between the Black Rose and like what Ambessa needs for her. So I think what the show gives us, like what exactly they are, and how they kind of operate and what their goal or their motivation for messing with Ambessa is enough. Like that we need to know, because like if they want to go deeper into that, I feel like that detracts from the main plot lines that they got going on with stuff like Vi, Jinx, Jace, Victor, and stuff.
Yeah, I understand. When I read it, I realized that they introduced the Black Rose before they introduced them, because in episode 8, when Ambessa brings in this girl, this princess from the old regime, she's asked, what should we do? Kill her now? One must die. Spare her? We're gonna have to kill thousands. The fact that she killed the girl anyway shows that it wouldn't have mattered what Meld had to choose. So, and the fact that that necklace is coming back, yeah, she's a member of the Black Rose, and Ambessa had it out for her anyway. And that her brother was cross the wrong man, as Ambessa tells Mel, and that their resources supersede ours, which is why she's so adamant on the science and magic of Hextech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought it was very interesting. Arcane is very slick with how it does its foreshadowing, so it was just pretty cool to have to think about that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about the show is there's a lot of subtlety in it to like peel back.
No, but Colin, didn't you know it doesn't matter how good the show looks or what little details you can find?
Yeah, oh my
I
god.
hated that.
A very smart individual on YouTube told me that.
Can you?
Uh,
Okay, that is probably. Oh, I don't have words for that. It's probably a dumb statement. Oh, you can make up all these little details, but that doesn't change that the scene is trash. That is so dumb to me. Because face value scenes, I have no problem with a simple story, but face value scenes at some point kind of get boring to me because it's surfaceable. There's nothing to scratch for under the surface. When you add those little details, it forces your brain to think.
yeah.
That's why he doesn't like it.
I think that's the
Forces you to
fun.
think?
I think
What does
that's
that mean?
kind of. I think that's while it is mentally draining. I think that's kind of part of the fun in picking apart like criticism videos because people can like try and pick it as much as or pick at the logic of the story as much as they want, and even then it just shows how strong the like and tight the writing is that you can like defend it by using the stuff in the show to make interpretations against it.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all I have.
All right,
Alright, thanks for talking to me.
no problem. Thanks for coming on.
Also, it's Kiera. You did say it right the third time.
My bad.
No, it's
Damn,
okay. It
Colin,
happens.
All right.
your own fan. How dare you?
All right. Thank you for coming on, Kiera.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Who was? Do you remember who was next? SK, was it Ozzy? Ozzy? Hello?
Hello,
Can you hear me?
so it's nice to be here. Been waiting a while for another disagreement.
Your mic is really like bad right now.
Low. I gotta turn them up on my end too.
It's not even. You sound like you're like talking across the room.
Oh, let me change something. Is this better?
It's like the same.
God damn it. Um, see this. Is it better or?
No, it's still the same.
Damn it. Can we work with this now?
Huh?
Can we work with this or no?
I can't even like. I can't hear you.
You sound
really.
like you're underwater.
Yeah, like.
Is this better?
Now it's better. You're still a little quiet.
Now you're clearer, but you're quieter.
Yeah.
Maybe just raise my volume.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I got you on max.
What's your disagreement? Tell me why.
I haven't even thought of watching Arcane, so I'm gonna go on. So I'm just gonna go with Sonic. The movie was.
That's the last thing I heard. Is that the last thing you heard, Colin?
I feel
Yeah.
it's a very fast-paced movie. It's really like this thing feels very, very, very fast.
I don't know if I agree, because like we go from their race in Tokyo, And then they go find Robotnik, and then we spend a little bit of time chilling with Robotnik, convincing him to go track down Shadow. Then they track down Shadow. They go there. We get the flashbacks, the Maria flashbacks. And then Shadow takes them out one by one, and it was really funny when he showed up with the knuckles and said "boo." And
Actually,
then after that, well, obviously Robotnik betrays them. Big surprise.
You know what
So,
was you know what I really liked? Tails wasn't a fucking D1 Glazer in this movie.
yeah, no.
Little detail of Knuckles being afraid of ghosts because, well, he is afraid of ghosts in the games, and he actually fought a ghost in
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was well paced. Like I don't like when it's slowed down, because like it usually like slowed down after every action scene or after every other action scene. I don't see how it's like uber fast paced.
Yeah, I may have exactly like it being super fast paced, but it was definitely felt pretty fast paced. I do think there was one scene that I think that went on for a little bit too long. When the two Robotniks were fighting, it felt like
I agree.
it went on way too long. Yeah, I haven't even picked up Arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that scene was the only scene that dragged. Mostly because what was happening right outside was Super Sonic and Super Shadow versus an army of
Yeah,
robots, and I would much rather have been seen that
know.
instead. As much as I love Jim Carrey.
There is this one disagreement thing that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've been waiting, but it has to do with Spider-Man. I've been waiting to do it.
Spider-Man?
In
You
Spider-Man 2. This isn't about like, just don't worry, it's not going to be like one of those things. It's about a theory based on one of the characters in the game that people have disagreed with me on. Like, because I'm so certain that this character is that.
Alright, give me 1 second. Thank you for the $2, K. Power skill Shadow right now. It's gotta be at least planet level, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even large planet level. Especially when you gotta factor in that he takes off his inhibitor rings too.
Yeah.
So like Shadow,
I mean,
no
bro,
Super Shadow
That
plus
shit
no
was
inhibitor rings.
fucking crazy, bro. And Sonic fucking punched him from Earth to the moon in like a second.
From Earth to Egypt to the whatever the Greek place was, and then to the moon, bro.
It was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, Ozzy, go ahead. What's your theory?
I think Joan was a part of the Flame Cult.
You think who?
I think Joan was a part of the Flame Cult.
Who's Joan?
Hey, Jonah Jameson.
Oh.
I've never heard him called that.
Why do you think he's a part of the Flame Cult?
Because these guys have been openly, because the Flame Cult has been openly like made themselves well known that they are terrorists. They've tried bombing. They have tried blowing up tankers and blowing up buildings, very publicly known in public streets. And the motherfucker has the audacity to defend them. It says, "Oh, they were just peacefully, just Spider-Man came in and kicked all their asses as they were doing a peaceful ceremony." I don't think.
Well, he'll do anything he can to fucking spin shit on Spider-Man. I mean, this is the same guy in the first game that was talking about fucking bringing out police rhinoceroses to fight back against the Rhino.
Counterpoint, he also tears down the villains that he fights with Spider-Man.
Yeah, he does, but like, I think what he's talking about was like you know, there's the random crimes they have where they're like in the alley or whatever, and they're like indoctrinating people into the cult. I think that's kind of what Jameson's talking about. I don't know specifically, like, sure, I don't really care to argue about this theory. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think it's a little far-fetched.
I mean, it was either going to be planned out if they ever going to do that, because they did leave that dialogue in. Or either he's being blackmailed.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, like this may end the stalemate because sounds far fetched, but there is some evidence to prove it, to back it up.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think.
All right. Thank you for coming on. See ya.
Bye.
Detective Charlie Hoffman. Isn't this what's his name? Blagus?
Yes, it is. What's his name? I'm Blagus. What's up?
Blagus. What is your disagreement? Tell me why.
Alright, so it's related to Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and there's two. And I don't know if one of them I think somebody else already said. But alright, so the first one is, so you remember the scene where Shadow almost accidentally kills Donut Lord?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so in that scene, the James Marsden, he walks in and he has the disguise on that makes him look like Commander Walters, and Shadow sees him and he goes, "Commander Walters!" And then James Marsden goes, "Oh, no, I'm not Commander," and he puts his hands up. I thought it was weird that he didn't just tap the disguise thing again.
I think he was kind of shocked in fear.
I guess.
Yeah, he was panicking at the sight of Shadow.
He's got a fucking planet level hedgehog, fucking light speed
He's got-
hedgehog in front of his face about to
He's got a
fucking shit up.
super teleporting hedgehog in front of him.
Right. And I guess even then, Shadow probably would have killed him anyway because he has the card and he planned on blowing up the Earth or something. So
Yeah.
the other thing is related to the double Jim Carrey laser dance sequence thing.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I'm doing it, Colin. So
Don't you
in
dare!
That,
That was
scene,
peak.
there's a bit. So it's made a plot point that the reason they're able to get through the laser.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say. I have the
They
same.
got-
I have the same kind of issue. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, the suit doesn't cover.
Yeah, the lasers are touching their head, and it's yeah. It was a little off-putting for me too. I'll admit that. It was the scene still peaked though. Goodbye.
He's still peak though, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
because
that's
technically, like, it is very, very lucky for them that the lasers don't like directly touch their heads. Because the only time it touched their heads, like the refracted lasers from their suits touch their heads, not the actual lasers themselves, which they are very lucky for.
Yeah, I thought it was the regular lasers touching their head.
No, because like I'd assume if the lasers are like after the lasers are refracted off of their suits, then it really doesn't matter if they touch them because like they already diffuse the energy. That's what the suit does. So they're just very lucky that the lasers like aren't from above. Because like if the lasers were from above, then they'd just be fucked. Because like the lasers only come out from the side. If there were lasers like on the roof or on the ceiling, then they would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's kind of all I could think of. I mean, I guess I didn't find the movie as funny as the other two movies, but that's kind of a subjective thing. I don't really think that get us anywhere.
You telling me you didn't laugh at Revenge Guac?
Okay, that did make me laugh, but there weren't as many funny jokes as the previous two.
Dude, name one joke in the first two movies that's as funny.
11 or whatever.
Name one joke in the previous two movies that's as funny as a woman in the military.
Alright, fine. You got me there. That was the biggest laugh out of me in the theater.
Yeah, sure. It was so funny.
Alright.
Yes.
Alright, thanks for coming on.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Saint Wombo. The man himself. This is the dude that DM'd me saying all the characters in the show were destroyed. They were caricature assassinated. Saint Wombo, are you here?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, I got you on stream too. Give me 1 second. There we go. Hi. So I've heard you say a couple times now that you think season 2 is flawless. I guess to get just to be clear, is that like a absolutely flawless, or would you concede that there's probably a couple things wrong with it here or there, but they probably don't matter?
There could be.
Okay.
I don't really have any. The only slight thing that I think is a little weird in season 2 right now, is literally just that I think it's a little contrived that Heimerdinger and Echo end up in the same universe.
Okay.
That's about it though.
Okay. I would heavily disagree. I think most of the season was bungled, especially in comparison to the first season. I'm pretty scatterbrained though, so I'd like to just focus on one character to try to kind of nail home the point. So I want to talk about my man Jace. I figured I'd just go point by point in like the first act.
Yeah.
Alright, so my first problem is in that scene where he comforts Caitlyn, and she says, Vi thinks those gauntlets of yours are the solution to all of her problems. And Jace says, what if she's right? And then Kate says, Hextech may keep us alive, Jace, but it's not what will save us. That felt pretty backwards to me. Like, I felt like that was kind of the lesson that Jace learned in the first season, that Hextech had drawbacks, and that if he wasn't careful with it, it could cause even more issues.
Is that the point?
You disagree? Yeah, that's that point.
So I think the thing with Jace, like, starting off the season after the whole, like, yes, he does see the consequences of, you know, the bad that can come from Hextech. I think the thing with Jace, though, in the beginning of the season, like, seeing what happens with Victor and, like, the transformation that can come from it, he's, like, seeing the whole, like, vision that they wanted, and he's like, this is a reality, even if these, like, drawbacks can you know, happen, like Jinx blowing up the fucking council or whatever. It's like, this shit can, like, literally, like, save so many lives in a way that we never even thought before in season 1, because the thing that's going on with Victor right now is so much different than anything they ever had before. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. I guess my problem would be that he's not really talking about Victor. Like, they're referencing the gauntlet specifically. So it feels like he's making a point about
Well, that's
Hextech
more
weapons.
Yeah,
not
that's
like
yeah, but they're more yeah. I mean, I disagree that that's, like, literally what he's referring to, because, like, while that's what's said, I think what Jace is thinking about is Victor, because he had to be convinced by Mel to even leave what is going on with Victor, and, like, obviously the thing with Hextech that would be on his mind, even if Caitlyn's talking about some gauntlets, would be the what's it called, the stuff that's going on with Victor.
the hex core.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think, well, I also think that, like, there is still a part of Jace that thinks that the Hextech is kind of needed when it comes to, like, stopping the Undercity, because in the fight in the what's it called, in the fight with the Undercity and the, like, you know, the memorial or whatever,
Yeah.
he's, like, more than willing to use the Hextech to fight back when they were, like, all about to die.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Okay.
Jace is just very conflicted in the first, like, act of season 2 after what happened.
I would agree that he is. I just think it's weird that he would even question whether or not Hextech is the solution to all of his problems, and that's why it feels extra weird that Caitlyn's response is saying Hextech might keep us alive, but it's not what will save us. I feel like Jace has that understanding. He gets that there is a need potentially for the weapons, but he should know, like, better than anybody, that it's not going to be what saves them. If anything, it might lead to more conflict. So I would argue, at the very least, the show did a poor job at delivering that, because it doesn't make.
I don't necessarily agree. Well, that would just kind of come down to how you interpret it. Like, I can't really argue against you if, like, you think if that's the interpretation you got and you think they could have done it differently. All I would simply say with that criticism is I think there's enough there to make the interpretation that I just did. So I don't think it's, like, an objective flaw with the show. But if you, like, want to be personal, if you personally didn't like the delivery of it, that's fine.
Okay. Alright.
I think the other thing I want to mention with Jace in terms of like his headspace right now is like the whole thing, the whole like rant that he went to Victor, or like that he said to Victor, like the whole trying to lead a nation, da 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 da, while your friend is on the brink of death, and you got to deal with like all these council decisions and stuff, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Like I think that's very much like telling of where he's at mentally right now.
Okay. Want to get to the next scene, or I'm not sure how long. I got plenty I want to bring up, so whenever you want to cut me off, you can.
Yeah, it's fine. Keep going.
All right. So next scene. This is the ending of episode 1. I've seen people complain about Jace not being at the first meeting. I think that's more than justified, and I think it makes sense in his character to be obsessing over Victor in those like initial hours where he's just fused.
Mm-hmm.
But we see later that he's convinced to go comfort Caitlyn, but then he goes to the memorial, and then after the memorial, he's making a rifle. So we know he's willing to leave Victor's side. So I think what we're supposed to take from this is, at this point, he's already completely lost interest in his seat on the council, and that makes zero sense to me. Would you agree that that's what the show is trying to tell us?
I think again it kind of goes back to the last criticism. I don't think he's like fully lost interest in like, you know, helping the council make decisions, but I do think he's not in a place. I don't think he thinks himself that he's in the position to be making these kinds of decisions. Like I don't think what?
Why not?
Because of his mental state right now. Like the things that I just kind of went over in the last point.
But he thinks that he's in a worse state to make decisions than the counselors who he knows are going to be pushing for war.
Well, the thing about
them hash it out.
1 second. Thank you for the $2. Kay, can I please cut your cat? Not right now. I think the whole thing with like him like not being at the council or whatever. I think Jace can definitely come back to the council if he needs to. But there's no point before he gets sent off to the other universe that he literally needs to. Like if shit hits the fan, and they do like, you know, Mel would obviously warn him that like they're preparing war, and like if Jace comes back, because he's not, while he says he's like he's obviously stepped down, and they've treated it as such, like the rest of the council treats it as he's taking his step away, even if it's not a official leave. So they're making decisions without him right now. But if he does come back in like a moment of crisis, there's nothing saying that he can't do that. But
he doesn't. This is a moment of crisis, and he chooses not to show up.
That's not really. No, I'm saying when like it really gets to the point of like no return. Like when it
kind of is though. Like there was just an attack on Piltover at the memorial.
Okay.
Like he should be showing up to the meeting and saying like, "Hey, I know everyone else is really horny for war, but that's something that I would really like to avoid." Like the first meeting,
they don't even have another meeting after that though.
Yeah, because they don't like he could have called one afterwards. There was no. You say that he could have done it if there was a need, but Jace should feel the need to be showing up. He should have felt the need to call one.
He should have felt the need to call a meeting.
Well,
why would he? Why would he? He would need to. Well, first of all, he would need to. Why he would only call the meeting? Like, because my point is, if it hits the fan to the point of no return, that would mean that they are imminently about to do it. Like the council themselves is about to make that decision. So if Mel comes to him and is like, "Yeah, they're about to do this. You should call this meeting." Then I think it would be fine for Jace to do that. That would be probably a point where he would step in and do that. But in the context of the show, what happens is, the attack on the memorial happens. He wasn't at the first meeting because of stuff we already went over. And then after that, the memorial attack happens. And then Victor gets out, and he's really distraught about that, falls asleep in his thing. And then Heimerdinger brings to his attention something that could be potentially really dangerous with the whole hex core thing. And then, poof, he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, the only time we see them meet after memorial attacks when they're like doing the thing underground.
Yeah, and they're not even like they agree.
There's not even like a proper meeting.
Yeah, like
That's
they
what I'm
even
talking about. Well, it's a proper meeting. It's like in their emergency bunker or whatever. 'cause
yeah, that
they're, like
emergency
wartime
bunker.
now.
Yeah, that emergency bunker thing. Even the conversation that gets had there, I don't think Jace would even care to step in for that because they're not even doing a full scale invasion right there.
We'll get into that later. As far as him not calling a meeting later, I get that he's like busy with other stuff. My point is that this is the exact outcome that he was afraid of in season 1. So he goes down to the underground. He has his Hextech hammer. He accidentally kills a child, and then he has that moment where he looks up and he sees all the Zonites watching him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And you're supposed to like in that moment, that's him realizing like, "Oh, I've like just begun like a cycle of like escalating conflict. Like I've just contributed to that." And his response isn't to quit out of guilt for murdering a child or being responsible for things getting to where they are. His response is to try to broker peace. So I don't think it's in character for him after an attack happens and after the woman whose child he murdered to seek retribution, and then for like the council to be like, "Oh yeah, we want war." Like this is the exact outcome he was trying to avoid.
But they're not going for war.
That's not the outcome that happened, though.
The outcome that happens is they lead a strike team in to
Just for Jinx.
Just for Jinx.
Like,
So
that's
that they can start with peace. Like that's the whole first conversation they have with the council to begin with. Like the whole first meeting. Like what Mel says, what's the outcome they come to?
Sorry, what? I lost that last part.
So you remember in the first scene in season 1 after the music video, the counselors are talking. It's the meeting where Jace isn't there, and they agree that like they're not going to do a full-on invasion at that current moment, and then that obviously reaches the point where it's just like, okay, we're just going after Jinx.
Well, to be clear, they do agree in that first meeting to do an invasion. They just agree to not do. They just agree to not use Hextech in that first meeting.
Well, yeah, they agree on that part, but Mel like mediates it to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, we're not going to use Hextech for this full-scale invasion, and then the conclusion they obviously end up coming to fully, which is
that we're only after Jinx.
Yeah.
You know how you had said that they had the talk with Mel, and they were talking about like, oh, she's like, I won't let him corrupt your dream or whatever. So he knows after that conversation that the council is pushing for war. We established that afterwards he's not busy, like tied up to Victor. I really think he would want to show up at least to discuss.
Well, he is busy with something.
What's he busy with?
The whole stuff with Heimerdinger. The stuff with Heimerdinger and Echo.
Meeting?
The second meeting he doesn't. Well, like,
I'm talking about attending the second meeting.
Right. The one underground. Why would he go to the one underground?
Well, the second meeting wasn't even called by them. It was called by Caitlyn. Caitlyn was the one that brought it up.
No, wasn't she? No, she barges in. They weren't even expecting her. He says like, "This is a closed meeting. What are you doing here?"
Okay, irrelevant from the point. I was just trying to set up the scene or whatever.
You said they didn't call the meeting.
I know. I said irrelevant
like
to the
that,
point.
As if that was to explain why he was going to be there.
No, I've explained
whether or not they called the meeting. Why would he be there?
All right, go ahead.
Well,
all their.
I'm trying to.
Why you're asking why Jason?
Aren't there only on like 3 of them there?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, exactly. Only 3 of them are there. There's one missing.
Exactly. That should tell you about the caliber of meeting that they're calling.
Where they discuss sending a strike team into Zon to use gas and Hextech weapons on them? That degree of meeting? Or are you downplaying the meeting?
What do you mean? Wait.
Because all they agreed to do is send a singular team of just 4 people to go after one person. You're acting as if they're declaring war on Zon when that's not what they're doing. That's what they come close to doing.
He sends them in to neutralize all agents loyal to Silco, which is kind of an act of war considering Silco is the leader they brokered peace with.
Silco's dead.
I don't know why.
Silco's
I don't know why. Okay, they still send in she says one of her objectives is to neutralize all agents to Silco. All agents loyal to Silco.
Still loyal to Silco. That means if they're still working under Silco's orders, that doesn't mean every single person is on.
Anyone's working under his orders.
If they're not working on his orders, then they're not gonna kill them.
Then why did they kill anybody?
Okay, wait.
They kill the Chem Barons.
Okay, can we like take it back a bit?
Because that's their older goal, to dismantle Shimmer.
No, we don't want.
That's not declaring war on Zon. Do you know what war means?
Let's take it. Let's take it.
Do you think? Wait, do you think sending a strike team in to like kill political leaders in a different country? Do you not think that's an act of war?
What?
Depends on the context.
Yeah, it does depend on the context for that. I
Okay,
wanted
depends
to.
on the
I
context.
don't think, for example, I would not say that killing Osama bin Laden was an act of war. Would you?
Kinda, yeah.
The war on terror, maybe. I mean, if you want to call the war on
Yeah,
terror an
it's still
official
an act
declaration of war.
Like just because it's an act of
Yes, but it's not. Okay,
It's not a war against the country. It's a
Wait,
war
so
against
Kronos,
terror.
So Kronos,
Yeah.
you don't think that's an act of war?
I would
That
not
he could-
consider killing Osama bin Laden an act of war. No.
Okay.
Okay, can we go back to the whole like why Jace wasn't at the meeting, right? Like, yeah, I kind of want to go back to like reset that real quick.
Yeah.
So we established that one. Can we agree why Jace wasn't at the first meeting, right? Just jumping off that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that okay, his priorities aren't on Victor anymore if he's willing to go talk to Caitlyn and take a break, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
So after that happens, you know, the council thing attacks, or the council thing gets attacked, the memorial, and then Victor obviously comes too, and that's another thing that breaks Jace, and he falls asleep, and the next day he wakes up and Heimerdinger and Echo are in his what's it called, his lab or whatever, and before that he made the rifle for what's her name, Caitlyn, because she's going after Jinx, and he doesn't really want her to die, and he trusts her with the Hextech weapons to do the right thing. So we agree with all the stuff set up beforehand, right? You following?
Probably not the rifle stuff. We can get into that later though.
Okay. So after that, he's hung up on something with what's it called? Jace. He's hung up with what's his name? Echo and Heimerdinger. Sorry, I've fucking been awake for forever. I'm fucking drained right now. But he has the stuff with Heimerdinger and Echo, and that's very important because obviously if this is connected to the whole Hextech fusing stuff and that's going like underground, that could be something that's potentially a massive problem, and then boom, he goes poof. The reason I don't think he should even be at that meeting or whatever, like what they're discussing, because like what they're discussing when Caitlyn barges in, let me just pull up the scene real quick just to refresh my memory exactly, because if not everyone's there, because if not everyone's there, then it's obviously not like something that's going to be a decision made at that current point. It's not like one of those kind of meetings, which is I think
it is though. Like all the members are present. He says it's a closed meeting. It starts with him saying like, are we still like deluded about peace now?
Right.
We need to defend ourselves with Hextech. It sounds to me like they're having a full-on meeting.
One sec. All right, I'm pulling up the scene.
Are you gonna stream it?
Oh, do you want me to?
I'm just asking. I don't know if you are.
Well, I didn't really want to get the copyright shit, but I can stream it.
I mean, yeah. If we don't want to, we don't need to stream it if it'll be copyright.
I'll just stream my thing in the Discord.
We can always stream subtitles, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the audio is gonna get copyrighted.
Alright, in that case, let me open it up. Yeah, probably not the audio.
Piltover's leadership enforced into dungeons of our capital. So there's 3 members there.
Because visuals could always be a
Well,
problem.
I'm not showing this on my stream right now. Does anyone still doubt that our enemy is greater than one deranged individual? Makes many into the things in the center of harmony.
Dude, you gotta pause. Even if there's like 5 seconds played, they can fuck you over.
The audio. I'm not showing this on my screen. What do you know? I just said that. They must have had help from someone up here. can't afford any more hand wringing. If you don't advance with Hextech, the principles will mean nothing.
Do it that way.
This is a closed council meeting. Who let you in here?
Mm-hmm. Also, doesn't this imply? Oh my god!
Oh, wait. They have
forgot
the
about
Hextech. They have the Hextech weapons when they go to the thing, which means she already went over this with Jace.
Yeah.
Which means he was making the weapons.
Yeah.
Which means he's
Well,
fine with
he
what
means
Caitlin's
he's
doing.
done- he means he's
Oh
done
my
making
god!
weapons.
I completely
Also, no, just because a character does something out of character on screen doesn't mean you can say, "Oh,
It's not
see,
out
it
of
makes
character.
sense that he's okay with it."
All right. Well, why is it out of character for him? Why is it out of character for him to be okay with Caitlyn leading this straight team for Jinx?
Okay, so on paper, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think, especially after season 1, Caitlyn is like the most sympathetic to the plight of Zahn and like the people. I think Jace could uniquely trust her to like not overstep her bounds and like be cruel to the people. But he's had a conversation with her where she's like, "I want to tear that laugh from her throat forever." And like that line alone concerns him. And then she says like, "Now I know how easy it is to hate them." I think the special trust that he would have afforded her, because they're both interested in like doing right by Zahn, I think that trust should be tainted, if not destroyed, the second she says, "Hey, I want to go into Zahn with the strike team, neutralize any agents still loyal to Silco, and I want to do it with Hextech weapons and gas attacks." I think that would, like, Jace would know, like, well, obviously that's going to make Zahn like unite against us, which is what happens. So I don't think he'd agree to this.
So Jace, they're in a position where it's like, okay, Jace, Caitlyn's a part of. She's basically a part of the council now. Can we agree? Because of her house name or whatever, right?
Caitlyn?
Yeah. Because she she has.
She walks in and says she wants to be on the house and the council.
Yeah, because her mother. Well, she takes her mother's place essentially.
Position.
I don't think she's supposed to just inherit the seat. It seems like she literally strong arms her way in. She walks in, she says, "Respect me. I'm a decorated officer."
Oh, right, they agree. So what other? Okay, so there's like two things to break down here. One, Jace has known Caitlyn his whole life, so I don't agree at all with the whole this should break his trust in her completely. Two,
completely, but not to the point where he wouldn't want to give her a Hextech sniper and then send her down to the Undercity to gas people. I think
you need to put into context the actual gases. So they're not actually gassing the entire Undercity. They never say they're gassing the entire Undercity. And the only time we actually see them gassing people in like, you know, the 3D animation format, not the 2D stuff that they show in the music video, is like, because we see it like going down as it's going in. It's doing it in small designated areas, and like what's her name? Vi says in the whole like the fight scene in episode 3, it's like, we're doing this to get people off the streets, so that, you know, innocent people don't get hurt in this, which would obviously be something that I think would be ran by Jace, and I think he would be more inclined to go along with the plan if that's the plan.
Wait, you're saying they... Wait, I must admit, there's a line where they say we use this to get innocent people off the streets, like they gas the street, and then they hide, and then anyone left they assume is a criminal.
Vi says yeah.
So they are gassing. So that makes it sound like they are gassing the streets of Zahn. Like people are still
no.
From
it could still also mean that they're gassing parts of the designated streets where they will be operating.
And gas is kind of hard to control. It's one reason that.
It depends how much.
Not with the vents.
No, it depends how much you use of it. 1 and 2, they do have vents that like literally control the airflow.
Okay.
And also there's all the assumption that Caitlyn explained it to Jace, like, yeah, we're just gonna go in and we're just gonna gas everybody. I'm pretty sure that wasn't her sales pitch when she gave him the plan.
You have to take it to it. Well, you have to also take into account the fact that what's his name? Jace knows that Jinx, like, from his perspective, she literally is a terrorist that will just keep doing bad shit, and she has access to Hextech from his perspective.
Hmm.
So why would he not want Jinx dealt with?
I'm not saying he doesn't want Jinx dealt with. He would absolutely want her dealt with. He wanted
Right.
that was part
Why
of
would
the
he not want
peace deal.
Shimmer? Well, why would he also not want Shimmer dealt with?
I'm sure he'd be okay with Shimmer being dealt with. In fact, he told
Okay.
Silco to shut it down himself.
Right,
The
okay.
neutralizing the going in there though and just indiscriminately killing anyone loyal to Silco, that just
It's not
seems like a
indiscriminately
really
if they're all loyal to Silco.
Yeah, that's like, well, like it wasn't just like I'll just use Kronos' earlier example. It wasn't just Bin Laden that was a target when we were like going after like Al Qaeda. We were going after multiple people
You realize
connected.
people in
to-
that country hate us for killing him, right? No matter how justified it was, it's still
Okay.
something that raised tension between us. Like
anything's gonna cause tension inherently. That's not really the point. Like I don't see what that really goes against.
again,
Anything short of giving Zon independence would have caused
There should-
tension with the people of Zon. That's not an argument for doing nothing.
Well, they already have
There should have
tension.
been. Jay should be trying to communicate with the people who have presumably replaced Silco. He should be.
No
trying
one has
to get
replaced
some
Silco. They
semblance-
made this abundantly clear in the show.
He
All the
doesn't-
Chambers
he
have their own
doesn't-
interests.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. All he knows is the leader of Zon has just been killed, and if he
Do
wants
know
to
that?
try to,
No, they do know that. They established earlier in the council meeting that Zon has no leader right now and they're headless.
Yes, they say it in the
They
first
don't-
scene in the show.
Did you watch
they
it?
don't know that there is no one to talk to. There is no
They
to
know
assume
that there is no
is-
leader who would be there to talk
assume
to.
that there is no one to assume that there is no one to take Silco's place is ridiculous.
Isn't. It's not an
Obviously, there's
assumption.
a-
They know
there's-
it.
There's a huge power vacuum. Obviously, someone would want to fill it.
Well,
They
stop,
should be
stop,
trying to
stop,
find
stop.
those people. Go ahead.
Everyone is trying to fill it. No one has filled it. That's the issue here.
Well, that's why
Okay,
they're trying to.
that is not-
Well, that's right. Wait. That's why they're trying to take out the Chem Barons. They don't want people to follow in Silco's footsteps. Like, unless there is
They want
nobody
the-
that will replace Silco. They can try. Like, that's why they're trying to take out the Chem Barons.
Again, that's all stuff that like Jace isn't privy to. His only concern should be trying to get into communication with any
With who?
potential leaders of Zon. Any potential
Darn.
leaders of Zon.
There aren't any besides the Cambarons.
There's
And
a-
they actually,
there's a-
they already
exactly,
did.
there's a
Wait.
convoy
They
Cambarons
already
that-
did. They did make the deal with the Cambarons. They said turn in Jinx, and then the Cambarons and Sevica,
They didn't make
refused,
that-
and
they
then the
didn't
other
make
guys
that
tried.
deal. They
No,
didn't
no,
make
no,
that
they-
deal.
they did it.
Mel made a proposition, and then the Kemp Barons independently. Smeech says, "Hey, all they really want is Jinx. We should just hand her over." And that's kind of my
Exactly.
point. Jay should be
Yeah.
gunning for that outcome. He should be saying, "Hey, we don't need to go to war.
We tried
we
it.
just need Jinx. We need Jinx."
Oh,
So
they
let's get
literally
hold of
just
the
tried
people-
it.
What do you mean they did? What tried what?
Literally it right there. They made the proposition to the Cambarons, give us Jinx, and then they refused, or
They
rather,
didn't. They
Sevica
didn't make the
refused.
proposition. They didn't make the proposition. The Chem Barons are talking about it independently, and Smeech suggests turning in Jinx.
Because how would the Cambarons know that all they want is Jinx, unless they were told that all they want is Jinx?
Because they know that Jinx is responsible for the attack. So they would be happy to hand over like a pound of flesh to make sure that they're not the ones getting caught in the crossfire.
Don't you think Vi would have told them that they, like Savika says in that meeting, that like they wouldn't give up their own?
I don't think so. I also think that's just some bullshit that they made for this season. I don't buy that Savika has a 0 turn-in policy. especially
Why?
when she executes Smeech.
Wait, Smeech is trying to kill her. And he's
Well,
also
yeah.
trying to. Well, Smeech is trying to. Okay, first of all, Savika's interests have lied in season 1 and season 2 in the same thing, and it's making the Undercity better. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Chem Barons are not trying to do that. Smeech is a fucking piece of shit, and
No, that is done ironically. What the Chem Barons are trying to do something that would be beneficial for all of Zon. If they turn in Jinx,
you can
that-
try to do
that's-
something. You can try to do
they-
something beneficial, and it could still be really fucking bad.
Okay.
Like, that's why she's wants Jinx to be the one to unify them. She doesn't want just the Chem Barons to do it, because the way the Chem Barons want to do it is not good. Like, that was the whole meeting
Jinx
in the
unifies them is good though.
Why is it not?
I mean, I'm trying. I guess
Like,
the only
she
way
strikes- she
unites
puts
them
hope-
is she does the
What-
like terror attack with like the paint.
Well, no, she fights back against their attacks or whatever. Like
I
with
don't even-
her
I
with
don't
her.
even know if that's.
Well, I was trying to finish. She fights back with like her theatrics and stuff, and she inspires hope into the people of Zon to keep pushing. Can we agree? Like that's the whole point of like that's something Isha represents as well.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So isn't that much more like isn't that much better than like how the Chem Barons exactly like kind of want to do it in a more terroristic sense, like the them trying to overthrow Silco in the first season. Remember that meeting where he puts the gas in the room? He's like,
Yeah.
remember this, da 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 da.
Yeah, I don't think that she would choose Jinx as like her pathway to uniting Zahn.
She
especially
doesn't.
given what she ultimately does. she
Well, she
literally
has
says-
to.
she's like,
Well, she
you're-
doesn't initially.
I mean,
or
she
she
chooses
does-
to
she
follow
doesn't-
her and help her. She helps her with like the terrorist attack after she saves
Well,
her
no,
from
well, yeah,
Jinx.
that's after the time skip, and she sees like the kind of impact that Jinx is having and the kind of stuff that she's inspiring.
I don't think there's a between 2 and 3. Like
It's between 3 and 4. Between 2 and 3, she's going with.
No. Sorry. I'm saying that she starts following her before that. Like she's.
Well, she starts.
in
Yeah, she
episode
starts.
3, she helps her with like the gas attack.
Yeah, she starts. Yeah, I agree, but that's also something that's helping the Undercity.
Okay.
Like
I
she's
don't get
getting,
why-
she's
I don't-
burning
I
the
don't-
gas.
I don't see why she would think that is a better idea versus turning Jinx in. Like, you
Why
think
would
that if
she?
you-
Because hold on, why you haven't really established why exactly she would want to turn Jinx in right now.
Because turning Jinx in gets so much heat off of their back. Like she committed a
Right.
giant terrorist attack. The idea is that if they turn it, that's why Smeech says it. He says if we turn in Jinx, like they'll leave us the fuck alone.
Okay,
Which
so,
is
but that doesn't
pretty much-
exactly prove why it's in Savika's character to turn her in.
Because it
When
would
has she
let
ever
Jinx-
done that before?
Well, because she hates Jinx. I guess she doesn't know that.
No, she
Silco
doesn't.
killed her. What?
She doesn't hate Jinx. The only reason she's
In
at
season
odds.
1?
The only reason
She-
she's at odds with Jinx in the first season is because Silco is being really distracted by her, and he treats her like his princess pretty much, and she thinks that's getting in the way of making things better in the Undercity.
No, she also thinks that Jinx is a crazy, like, dangerous liability. Like, she accidentally shoots Savika in, like, the first scene that they're together in episode 4, and Savika's super pissed.
Okay.
Like, she's been given this responsibility. She was supposed to guard the cargo, and then she didn't. Like, she thinks Jinx is a liability. She says she's a prom, and we all know it.
Yeah, liability for like the missions that they were trying to do to like
yeah, so I don't know why
certain things.
she
I don't know
she
why
thinks
that
she's as
proves.
much a
Why does that?
Jinx
Yeah, but why does that prove that she hates Jinx?
because she got shot at by her, because she thinks she's a liability to their cause.
I think someone's a liability, but not hate them individually as a person. I don't see how you're correlating these two.
I'm giving reasons as to why I think Savika hates Jinx. and
Yeah, but I don't think your reasons are strong enough that prove why exactly she would want to turn her in, or why it's out of character for her to not want to turn her in.
Again, turning her in would do a lot more for the Undercity than helping Jinx, especially. So it's weird that she decides to do that.
You can want to help the Undercity, but not want to betray your principles in doing so.
Okay.
Like I'm like you just haven't really given enough that, like, if there was a scene in episode 1 or season 1, sorry, that you could show me where it's like, yeah,
So when she picks up
Savi-
the bottle or like throws the screwdriver at her, like just hearing the sound of her voice, you don't think like Savika really dislikes and doesn't trust Jinx?
in season 2.
At the very start, it's when they first run into each other again. She's like, "I thought I was crazy," and Savika like.
Well,
chucks
you gotta
her
take into
screwdriver,
context. Well, I
And
mean,
then she's ready to bash her over the head with a bottle when she drops down on the table.
right, but she doesn't throw the screwdriver at her. She throws it like around her, and she walks into that room already in anger about Silco's passing. Right,
Because she's
Okay.
frustrated, she's having to clean up this
Yeah.
mess.
and then they
Okay, so
bond
she-
over that similar experience in a way that they never really could before.
Okay. And you think that before that point, like Savika picking up the bottle, her and Jinx were. I don't quite get. So you don't like.
I
her
don't think
hate,
they're buddy. I don't think they're like buddy.
strongly dislike, distrust. Like
Why?
again, Savika knows
I,
that
I don't know why she
Because
wouldn't
Savika
trust
knows
Jinx.
She's fucking crazy.
Well, what does she have? Well, like, what do you mean by distrust? Like, what exactly can Jinx do that like is like distrustful or like damaging to her?
Same
now.
thing she's always done like this. Well, I guess right now.
Because
she
the
gets
only
lost in
time,
the-
again, that she's at odds with her is when she thinks that Jinx is messing up certain missions that Silco has them go on, and she doesn't think Silco's making any progress. It's even like a point of contention where they try to get Savika to turn on Silco, and she doesn't. Even when she's
Savika-
at odds with him and really frustrated with him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe she's loyal to Silco. It's just.
I think she's loyal in general.
The
I don't think-
Undercity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure why we were talking about Savika. I'm not clear on what the point was.
You said something
You
about...
brought her up. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You're the one bringing up why she doesn't. Why
not-
doesn't
I'm
she
not-
turn in Jinx?
I'm not trying to bicker about who brought it up. I'm just trying to remember how we got here and what we were on before.
I'm pretty sure I said that Vi could have, or it's very possible that Vi would have also said, oh yeah, it was Vi could have easily told Jace, yeah, the Undercity doesn't work like that. We don't just turn in our own people.
Okay.
They're not gonna do that. And if they have all these wanted posters up there already, like for Jinx, and nobody's like making the effort to turn her in, or even possibly can turn her in, because if more people, because like it would also be something like she says this, what's it called, like to Caitlyn to a certain extent, or it's something, it's either she says or Caitlyn says it, but it's like if someone goes after her, they're gonna end up in a box, and Vi doesn't want someone to go after Jinx and then they just fucking get themselves killed, even if they're innocent and they're just trying to stop the top side from fucking with them because Jinx is a wanted terrorist.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, I think those are very strong motivations and things that would go into Jace's decision making to allow Caitlyn and back her plan.
If that was a reason, if like Vi's input was a reason that he thinks it's a good idea to go in and neutralize any Silco agents, I feel like we should have seen that. Again, from everything we know,
I mean, you can
seems like
say
really
we-
reckless.
You can say we could have seen that, like a scene with what's it called, Vi and Jace.
As
like
far as we know, it just didn't happen. Like we have to assume that he knows that.
we have, yeah, you have to interpret it based off things that.
We
What?
don't really get any indication that he's been told that they wouldn't turn her in.
I just told you multiple things that could have been possibly.
You said that Vi could have told him that he.
Yeah. Yes,
that the
based on
Undercity
yes,
doesn't
based
look
on
like
yeah,
that.
and I
That
used
multiple
examples.
people-
Well,
Yeah,
wait.
there'd be concerns about. Go ahead.
Well, I used, yeah, and I used examples of dialogue and stuff that we get from like both Caitlyn, Vi, and Vi talking to Jinx as well about things that possibly could have been said. It's like, sure, we could have got a scene with Vi talking to Jace beforehand. I'm not saying that couldn't have added something, like it could have, but I'm saying it's not this.
Because it didn't happen, you can't really use that as an explanation.
I think you can, because if you can, I think with any story, if you have enough stuff, like whether it be dialogue or visual storytelling or music, for example, that's like telling you a certain thing and like things connected to something, a plot point or something in a story, I think you can make interpretations to justify why the plot progresses in the way that it does, or why characters make decisions the way that
I want
they
to
do.
see how strict you are with that. If you don't see it, you can't really say it happened. Do you consider yourself to be very
No, not
strict
in-
with that?
Not in the term,
or-
no, not in the sense like it literally cannot happen if you didn't see it. I'm saying though, if you're implying that that is a reason that he makes this big decision, it's weird that we get no indication that he's even talked to Vi about this.
Well, those are everything I said is. I feel like I've given multiple reasons. It's not even just what Vi says. I also give you the.
around Vi like sharing her understanding or Vi's concerns to Caitlyn being communicated to like Jace.
Well, because one, there's not only like their plan being, told to the council as Jace is making the weapon, so it can be easily interpreted that these are the kinds of things that are being told to Jace, and that's why he's building this weapon for Caitlyn. I feel like that's a very clear interpretation someone can make. The
Because
other
we
thing,
know that Caitlyn did speak to Jace about
Yeah.
the plan.
Well, the
and
other
she would
thing-
have obviously had to given him reasons as to why she's going with this plan.
yeah, the other thing, I don't think Jace really even has much of an option, because what you really have to think about, like from Jace's perspective right now, and like where he's at mentally, do you really think Jace right now is in a position where he is trying to broker peace between the Undercity and Topside? Like genuinely,
I do think he would be pushing for much more peaceful solutions than everybody else.
I'm asking, in his current mental state, where he's like genuinely like distraught. He's literally sleeping in his lab. He's not doing much productive. He's not doing really anything productive at all. And he's just mostly worried about Victor. He's worried about his past mistakes, the stress that he had previously on his shoulders while being a counselor. What went wrong when he literally just tried to broker peace with Silco, which was like their best opportunity. Like, there's so much shit on his plate right now, and then on top of that, Heimerdinger and Echo bring that something that could be potentially really dangerous to his attention. Like, he has so much stuff on his plate.
Yeah, I get that certain things would take higher priority. Like, I get him spending like a crazy amount of time in the lab with Victor over everything else and shirking certain responsibilities. Just the idea that he would completely step away from deliberation when he's like one of the most influential council members.
I don't think, but I don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can continue. I didn't want to.
I was just gonna say that it pretty much the same thing as before. It just seems like he has as many reasons, if not more now, to try to get involved and like slow. Like,
Well, I disagree that he's like
conflict.
completely stepping away, because he's still somewhat interested in it. He's just not. It's just not taking full priority right now. He's not.
Seems completely like, as far as like being part of the conversation, being part of the votes, he does seem completely just like, he makes this rifle right before the meeting. He could have gone with Caitlyn to the
Well,
meeting.
no, the reason I say that he's not completely disinterested in the situation to begin with is the fact that he's making the rifle for Caitlyn. It shows that he's still.
Not the situation. If he's disinterested in going, he should not be completely like turned off of going to the council. If anything, he should want to be more active.
Why?
Because there are people on the council who are pushing for like war and using hex tech and invasion, and he would probably want to be a part of that conversation to make sure that his voice can temper those voices. The same reason Mel wants to be part of those conversations.
Right, but but like I said, he's obviously like he's talking to Mel and he's talking to Caitlyn about this kind of thing. I don't think he's interested in talking to the council. You would be right about that. I don't really think he wants to be a part of the council.
He could vote on the council too.
If he doesn't need, but that goes back to what I was saying earlier. If he absolutely needs to make that vote, he needs to make something happen. I'm sure he could, and there's nothing saying he wouldn't do that.
Thing is, they could have a meeting and things could get discussed or brought up, or proposals could be made that he's not even aware of, and then he could find out about it like after the fact. Why wouldn't he just go to the meeting and at least listen in on what's being said?
I'm sorry, repeat that. I was looking at something. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. I don't know why he wouldn't at least want to like sit in on the meeting or be like privy to the details, because if he doesn't go to a meeting, if it's like, oh well, they're not going to vote on anything, as far as I know, that's not how it works. They go, they have their deliberation, and if they want, they could make a proposal and vote on something without his knowledge, and Mel would lose the vote without him.
Or she could also say that she wants to call for a vote when Jace is here.
I'm not sure. She probably would have done that in the first meeting when the council agreed to an invasion, and she knows her and Jace wouldn't want that. So I'm gonna assume that's not a possibility.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? They don't even really agree.
You said she.
She
could postpone the vote.
Right. I'm saying. Okay, let me explain this again. In that first meeting, what's her name? Mel's priority is to not have hex tech weapons involved, right? That's what she says to Jace. That's what she thinks he doesn't want.
And she wants to avoid invasion. Those are two things that she votes against.
Yeah, she does. But when it comes to hex tech stuff, that's what Jace is more concerned about. The collateral damage of hex tech.
He's concerned with both, to be clear. Like he tried. That's why he thinks that they should be sovereign. Like he thinks that having enforcers in Zon is only adding to the issue, which it is.
Okay.
So I'd argue he's just as interested in the invasion vote. I guess
but
he'd probably be more interested in the Hextech one, but he is interested in both of those votes.
Yeah,
so
but Caitlyn and Mel are agreeing to the same thing, right?
I assume in the second one, well, I guess
In the second, so it would be a cancel out. So that would just be different. That would just be blatantly different from the first meeting.
Okay. I'm not sure how this addresses him not being there.
Because if the point I'm making is he will show up, and he can show up if shit hits the fan, and he wants to, have his attention on.
He doesn't though. Shit has hit the fan, and he decides.
No. I feel like I've said this 5 different times. What I mean by shit hitting the fan is it's imminent. It's literally on the final straw, on the line, right? So if they have the opportunity for a cancel out, right? That would be a cancel out. So that would be, if they do reach the point where they have a cancel out vote, which they don't, that would be when Jace would come in. That's what I mean.
I again, for the reasons I just stated, Jace would obviously just want to go to the meeting with Caitlyn after he finished the sniper rifle, and be involved.
If he's not,
I'm not sure why he would say okay, if anything bad happens at the meeting, I can call a meeting later, when he could just follow her to the meeting and be
or
part
he
of the
could be
discussion.
more, or he could just again not be in the mental space to deal with that discussion. And 2, it would be 1 that, and 2, he is also very invested in prioritizing the stuff with the Hextech stuff that just happened with Victor.
Again,
which could be a way bigger threat.
So are you saying that he wants to spend more time with Victor, so that's why that's another reason he doesn't go to the meeting?
Yes. Studying what's going on with Victor.
I'm not quite sure why he can make time for a memorial and to make the rifle and fix Vi's gauntlets, but
because those are much less mentally draining. Because those are much like talking to Caitlyn and stepping away for a second to take a break, an actual break. Talking to the council is not a mental break for him. Would you agree?
You're saying
talking to the council and making these kinds of decisions and having these kinds of debates? I don't think having a debate in general is something that's mentally tasking.
You don't think a debate is mentally tasking in any way?
Yeah, it can be. Most of the time.
I feel like I'm losing. I feel like that almost be the opposite in your point. Are you arguing that he's not in a space to deal with a debate because the debate would be more taxing than making a rifle?
Why would that be more taxing?
I thought that was your point, that you're saying making the rifle requires a lot less brain power and focus than going to a meeting and having a discussion. Isn't that the point?
Now I'm lost. What? Yeah. You said
is that not the point you're making?
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna bring up the other 2 things. You brought up him going to the memorial and him going to talk to Caitlyn and him making the rifle, which is him stepping away from Victor, right?
Yeah.
Those are things that are breaks. That's him taking a break, and the and the him making the rifle thing specifically is him just dipping his toe in and helping Caitlyn out, without him needing to deal with the council. He says to Victor, "My place is not up there making these kinds of decisions, because when I was up there making those kinds of decisions, shit got fucked. His place is in the lab with Victor."
We'd probably just have to disagree on that, because I'd argue that him realizing shit has got fucked, especially after the kid he killed, after his mom shows up for revenge, and then the counselors are we need war. Again, I think that's exactly what he feared in the first season, realizing the cycle of violence had started.
I don't really think it's the cycle of violence. I think what he feared is what the Hextech weapons can do. like and
I
how
think that's-
dangerous they can be.
I feel like that's the point. So it's twofold. It is like the dangers of Hex Tech, but there's that moment where he looks up at the Zonites and they all see him standing over the boy's dead body, and he tells like Vi like I'm part of this now, and then he immediately sues for peace. I think that's all supposed to indicate that Jace realizes like shit, I'm contributing to like the rising tensions between these two like territories, and his response is to try to broker peace.
I think
So
what
no-
he's more so doing is he's not like in that moment. I guess what he's more so doing is just like what's it called? Like it would go back to the point that I just made like a minute ago. It's the thing with Heimerdinger, like what he was warning Jace about, like the dangers that the magic can bring if put in the wrong hands, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
I agree. That's like the half of it.
I mean, if you want to go, so even if we go with the other half, like the whole cycle of violence thing,
Yeah.
like that's something that starts from like a war, like a full-on war, right?
Could you elaborate?
Like, okay, when they go into for example, when they go into the Shimmer factory, right, the biggest one in Zone, and there's a kid there.
Yeah.
What Vi says to Jinx is we use the gas to clear out innocent people. So the people that would be staying in those facilities wouldn't be innocent people, right? If that's the plan they're running with.
They kind of are. I mean, isn't that the point? You gas the area, the innocents run, and then it's just like the villains. And, like,
the Shimmer men, like the people in the
people guarding the Shimmer will stay to guard the Shimmer, and the people that don't have a reason to stay there will leave.
Yeah, but the other people, there's all those like all the other just like casual factory workers too.
I mean, can't we also? I think another thing that can be said is I don't know if Jace for sure is at a point where he thinks peace will absolutely work right now, because he it goes
probably like absolute peace is probably impossible. Like I'd agree with that.
That's what I think. That's what I think. Because what happens with Jace in the first season is he tries to broker that peace, and then you have that conversation with with Caitlyn where he's talking about Hextech and like the whole it may save you, but I forget the exact line of dialogue or whatever. But you know what I'm talking about. It's like I feel like Jace is really at a crossroads in the sense that he doesn't know if that's possible, and I think the reason he's kind of going along with what Caitlyn is doing is because that is probably the best course of action in his mind. Like, because your whole point for the whole out of character thing stems from he would want to broker peace, but if he's at a crossroads with if that can even happen.
Options. But yeah, I get the like brokering peace, at least the way they would have had it in season 1. That's no longer a possibility. But I would argue that the entire time he should be trying to step in and like pump the brakes. Like he should be there to match Salo's energy and be like, hey, I know you're really pissed and you want to like hurt people, but this was like one crazy person. I myself went into the Undercity, and now I've like stoked like part of war. He would. I feel like he absolutely would want to be part of these discussions. Like even if they are mentally draining for him, like I feel like making the rifle is something he's obviously conflicted about. Like he would still be doing all these. I don't get why the council is something he would shirk.
I mean, I feel like we're just gonna kind of go in circles with that one.
Yeah, do we want to move on to another? Because this has been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys.
Yeah, alright, do you have another point about Jace?
That's probably a good place to leave it. I don't know if we'll really get anywhere.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, well,
Alrighty.
Thanks for having me on. It's been
Yeah,
fun.
thank you for coming on.
Yep, thanks for coming on.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Alright, I'm gonna guess this person was next.
Yeah.
Box Jolly.
Hello?
Was he next? I don't even know who's next. I kind of lost track of that shit. I'm so fucking
I know
tired.
this person was here for a while. Welcome. What's the disagreement? And tell us why.
On Sonic 3, I generally like the movie, but I have like a little problem. Also, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Tired.
Doing good. What is your problem you have with Sonic Tres?
About to pass
Okay.
out.
I'm good, but I'm really tired, so I just have to wanna get
Feel you, brother.
this over quick.
Feel you,
Okay,
brother.
so my biggest like one of my biggest issues with the movie was that like some things weren't that elaborated on, and like I wish they were more. And I have like a list of some things that I wish were. For example, in like the when Sonic like whole gang visits the like underground laboratory. When they leave, when Eggman and Gerald leave, Shadow leaves like a black hole.
Yeah.
Where did he learn that, and where the hell did he get that? Like,
Gerald made it.
I mean, it was cool, but like, yeah. Also, another thing. Why did Gunn want the Eclipse cannon? It like the reason
Because
is
the original intent for it was designated laser strikes for like, you know, terrorists.
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
like that thing could like blow up. That thing.
Yeah,
could
but they
blow-
don't know it can blow up the
That
planet.
wasn't.
Because
That
it
wasn't.
can only.
No, that was. Yeah,
Shadow.
they said that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
the original intention.
Yeah, like the only reason it can blow up the planet is if Shadow powers it up
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Like,
that's
Gunn had no way of
yeah.
knowing that would happen.
That's a good point. I guess this makes sense because like Gerald was close to her, but I wish there was more explanation to why Maria was in the lab. In the game, it was because like
Is she sick? Yeah, I wish they had kept that motivation. I feel like because all we get is him saying that, oh, that's the doctor's granddaughter who takes her everywhere. I feel like if they had kept the fact she's sick, it would have been like, oh, that's why he takes her everywhere. Obviously.
yeah, and also it would make it slightly more tragic that she dies. Like yeah, it would be kind of like oh this she was a kid and she was sick, so I like it's kind of extra sad. But like
Yeah.
that was like why is she here? That doesn't she have like parents or something?
Damn, I didn't know
Mhm.
Sonic was so complex and thought provoking.
No, it's just like
It's just a Sonic
Yeah, I
adventure
know. We do get an I think we do like get an explanation for it, but I wish there was more like better explained on why Gerald was trying to escape the lab with Maria and Shadow. Because like when the director, like the what's his name, Walters is explaining to Sonic Shadow's backstory, he explained that it was like a accident at the lab, and that a scientist was blamed and Shadow was contained. And I think the explosion happened. Gerald was trying to take Shadow and Maria, and then like Maria died, and that was the thing.
They were shutting down the project. Which meant they were either gonna kill or take away Shadow. And Gerald didn't want to separate Shadow and Maria, so that's why he was gonna leave with them. And obviously misfire on the gun, shoot the canister, they blow up.
Okay. I mean, I did. Okay. When was it in the movie? Explained.
Well, I mean, Gerald comes into their room, and says, "Kids, we have to go." And then a bunch of like other gun soldiers run in, and they're chasing after Shadow. So like obviously, obviously higher ups on gun or whatever wanted the project to maybe because we see that Shadow and Maria are like goofing off a bunch. So it could easily be that higher ups want Shadow to be more on track or whatever because they want to use him as a weapon. And so they're gonna separate him from Gerald and Maria, and Gerald takes them and runs because he doesn't want that to happen.
Was I ever explained? Was it like that told?
Not directly, but I mean, I think you can tell. Because like they're chasing after Shadow, they're not chasing after Shadow for no reason.
Yeah, yeah, there was a reason. I thought the reason was because like the little doohickey, like when what Walter said was true, but he didn't say that like Maria was killed, and like Gerald was responsible for like the explosion. That was how but okay.
Well, no, because we see Gerald come into the room, right, where Maria and Shadow are watching the Bio Lizard movie, which is a neat reference.
Yeah, that was cute. I liked how because in the game, the Bio Lizard and Shadow being related makes absolutely no sense. Like how
it's really goofy.
Yeah, I like how that was. Like,
and he's like, "Kids, we have to go." And then they run, and then they have like a whole bunch of gun soldiers that aren't from the facility chasing after them. And then one of them tries to shoot Maria, and then Walter pushes his gun away and it hits the canister instead, and then they
Yeah.
blow up. So like obviously we know, so like from that we can tell that a gun soldier is not part of this facility. We're raiding it first for something. Two, we know that they're after Shadow because they were all of them were basically running after Shadow, Gerald, and Maria. And they definitely don't want the little girl, the normal little girl, right? So like I think we can add those together to be like, okay, so someone wanted, and we know that Shadow and Maria were like goofing off a bunch with her rollerblades or whatever, smashing into the donut cart and stuff. So like we can add those together to be like, okay, they wanted the project to be moving faster, and they thought that Maria and Gerald were being a distraction, so they wanted to take Shadow away.
Yeah, and like, see, I think this is like a valid and good explanation. I think it makes sense. But I wish it was like more included in the movie and more like elaborated on like that was the reason why all this like that was like one of my issues. Even though I really like the movie, I think it's probably the best video game movie we've had ever.
No, Cap. Mortal Kombat better.
Ooh, that's true. That's true.
Wait, which
Feel that?
Mortal Kombat?
That's true.
You gotta be specific which Mortal Kombat, because
The
don't you tell me it was the one from
live-action one,
2020.
The live action one from
All live
released
action.
exclusively on
Also,
HBO Max, bro.
Also, the 1985 Super Mario Bros. Movie was kinda peakness.
I'm actually like, what other video game movies are actually like up to that?
Oh, there's a whole bunch that are good. I don't know.
Yo,
But that exist, there's a
Wreck-It
whole
Ralph.
bunch.
Nah, Wreck-It Ralph is better, bro.
I mean, that I could see the case, but like, it's not like adapting a game; it's about video games. So does it? I like.
All right, what about Tron Legacy, bro? That movie's peak.
Oh, I unfortunately.
Movie
haven't
came
watched it.
before the game though, so is it really a video game movie?
Oh, that's.
We got. What about Jumanji, bro? Jumanji is peak, bro.
That's not a video.
I was scared by
Jumanji
as a kid.
is a game. Bro.
For some reason, I
Come on,
was
The Rock.
terrified of Jumanji as a kid.
All right, what about we got
A lot of people like the
Gran
FNAF
Turismo.
movie, even though I think it's hot garbage. I think the FNAF movie is legitimately
Oh, it
terrible.
is garbage. I
It's
completely
fucking ass.
Nah,
Fuck
it's
that
SK's
movie.
favorite
Thank
movie, bro.
you. You're one
It's
of the
SK's
first
favorite
people
movie.
I've met in my
Dude,
life.
I could bear. It was so hard for me to fucking finish that shit. I was so bored.
And like, I can
Comic
enjoy.
Legends reached its peak.
I can enjoy.
The only
a
thing that
bad
made it
movie.
enjoyable for me personally was Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Nah,
I
as
have
we
a
all know,
problem.
the Injustice
I-
movie is the best video game movie, bro.
I have a thing with Matthew Lillard as William Afton. I think he's good. I think he's really good. But the thing is, William Afton is a child murderer, and Matthew Lillard. Jesus, I am having a stroke. He's way too charismatic for this role. He's
I think it makes
Wait,
perfect sense
yeah,
that
doesn't
he's.
that-
I think
yeah,
it makes
that has
perfect
to
sense that
make-
he's charismatic. I
Yeah,
think that
you
helps
need
it
to
if
be
anything.
you need to be charismatic to coerce kids.
And I would agree.
No, I
if
would have
he
phrased it,
didn't
but
have
okay.
a suit to do that. He literally have a suit. That was like a
Yeah, but you have to be able to like act in the suit, and like you have to be able to talk. It's not like you can just do it with like without words. Like he has to be able to do that mascot speak or whatever.
But like,
They should've cast
And he's
him
decently funny
Markiplier.
because he has to be able to like beyond just wearing the suits. He has to be able to like get kids like completely drop their guard even after they're in the room, because then it makes them less likely to scream at anything that happens. So I think it makes perfect sense that they would get a comedic actor for it.
Nah, bro.
I think he works in it. Willem Dafoe would have been a good pick. Jim
Yeah,
Carrey obviously would have been a great pick.
he's still
Detective
like.
Pikachu is better, bro. Detective Pikachu is peak.
Who's the best video game
I mean, it's alright. Like,
That's
overrated as fuck.
Nah, bro, it's peak cinema right there.
Are we still on disagreements? Because we still got a lot
Oh
of people lined up.
yeah, we got distracted. Okay, a little like side thing.
I'm at like
Like-
50% brain power right now.
Uh,
Bro, I had a PT
when-
test today. I'm wiped out.
when Team Sonic meets with Shadow, they mentioned that Shadow looks like Sonic, which makes sense because he does look like Sonic. And the original Adventure 2, it makes sense why it's brought up because Gun mistakes Sonic for Shadow for Sonic, even though it makes no sense. And even though they mentioned it in the movie, it's really like offhandedly, and it's like really not ever brought up again and again, like I don't mind it, but like it just like why?
Personally, my
No, I mean,
biggest criticism
they
of
look
Sonic
like each
3 is that
other. Well,
everybody
it's like
wasn't
they
in
look
it
like each
again.
other. Well, it's like they look like each other. So obviously, like, was definitely gonna bring it up because as far as Shadows knows, he's like the only one of his kind. And Sonic's gonna bring it up because as far as like he's never met another hedgehog that can like run really fast. So like obviously they'd bring it up. I guess I would like for it to be explored more, but I'm guessing they're saving that for if they do Black Doom in the Shadow spinoff.
I have like
They'll actually explain his origin.
I have like an idea for like how they could do Black Doom, but I think we have to wrap things up because there's like way more people waiting, and it's literally 12 p.m. So some little other nitpicks I had, and in Sonic 2, it seemed like Gun was formed due to the events in Sonic 1 because like they discovering that Sonic exists and Eggman like doing all he did. It like was insinuated in 2 that Gun was made because like Sonic was discovered. But in 3, it seems like they've been here for 50 years, and like that's okay.
I just figured that like after like Project Shadow was a massive failure and they had the thing, they like shut down Gun, and then after they found out that Sonic was here, obviously another hedgehog that has like superpowers, they like reinstated it.
But that would make sense because the Gun headquarters exist, and the
They could have just repurposed the building. And honestly, like just because the Gun was shut down doesn't mean they're gonna just destroy all of their equipment.
I mean, because for 50 years, Gerald was in prison, and so during those 50 years, like there was I mean, would they really manage to build like the Eclipse cannon in like 2 years? Like I don't know. It seems like. Like it's a nitpick. I have little notes that like mention my little problems because like I'm running on half my brain power, so I barely can formulate words on myself. It's like this is what I'm talking about. And one more issue is that like during like the Mission Impossible section, Team Sonic takes Tom and Maddie, so like they can disable the little shield thing like that surrounds Gun headquarters so that Sonic can get in. That was like the purpose of. But then Sonic goes through that shield.
Well,
He goes through the shield right before it goes fully up, because Tails throws him through it.
But it seemed to me like I think I just expected for them to just like the little thumb drive that Tom had to just disable the shield.
They tried to use stealth first.
Yeah, and then like it would slow down the shield. Okay, so that wraps up my list. I could probably come up with more problems, but I'm way too tired to do that. So and I think I'll just let other people join.
Sonic is way cooler than Shadow. Someone said, "Nah, bro, it's cap, bro. Shadow's a goat."
I think Metal.
Wait a second.
I think Metal Sonic is cooler than Shadow.
Alright.
Okay, well now you're tripping, dog.
Thank you for coming on. We're gonna pull someone else in.
Okay.
Later.
Have a good night and bye.
Goodbye. Alright, PJ.
Yo, Persona trash as fuck, bro. Yo, we got a disagreement day with a vacuum. Let's go.
Alright.
He gone.
Guess we'll get someone else.
Yo, Sonic Fan 889. I wonder what his disagreement is. Yo, I think this guy. Yo, Magic profile picture. What's your disagreement? Tell me why.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. Yo, what up, Pipping? How you doing, man?
I'm doing.
Yeah, doing great. Anyways, so for this it's not really a disagreement, just kind of like a little thing I just want to talk about. It's about Cupcake, Caitlyn. You know?
Caitlyn?
Yeah, Caitlyn in Arcane too. Yeah, I don't have any problems with her. She's one of my favorite characters. But before we go into that, I just want to ask, what are your thoughts on in season 2 compared to season 1?
I think they're equal.
Equal?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that really pushes one over the other.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So there's just like this. One I want to talk about is it's the scene where Vi and Caitlyn reunite with each other. Back in was it episode 6, and it's kind of a mixed bag with me. At first, I feel like it's pretty rough. You know, I wish we had like more of Vi and like Caitlyn on screen. I wish we got to see more of Vi's reaction to Caitlyn, like seeing her again. And I feel like the switch up is I understand that Caitlyn seeing Vi again, it gives her a sense of like an excuse to finally stand up against Ambessa. But I think
that's not the whole thing, because the scene that precedes it is Ambessa. Oh, I thought he left. The scene that precedes it is like Ambessa. I forget exactly what happens. I'd have to pull up the scene again, but like Ambessa's like threatening or like bringing a kid into it or whatever, and Caitlyn doesn't like that at all. Or wait, fuck, I'd have to pull up the scene again. But there's a scene that precedes it that makes Caitlyn even more on edge about being with Ambessa. I'm just genuinely too fucking tired to remember it.
Nah, it's okay, bro. Yeah, I don't think I remember that scene. I don't know.
It's in episode 5. I remember that. It's in episode 5. It's either in episode 5 or 4, actually.
Yeah.
It's when they go to Singe. It's when Ambessa and Caitlyn go to Singe for the first time.
Oh yeah, that scene. Yeah, yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, so I also want to ask, do you think Caitlyn switching sides with Vi, do you think that's do you think the pacing for that is fine? Do you think it would be extended?
She doesn't really switch sides with Vi. She kind of just like I feel like the way I would describe it is more so she's doing things her own way, and she can't have Vi involved anymore because she's too like thirsty for getting that revenge, and that kind of like it leads her astray. It leads both of them astray.
Yeah. Cool. Another thing I want to talk about is it's actually a bit it's about Marvel Rivals. Is that cool? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about Rivals.
Yeah, I watched a video today. I really enjoyed it. And there are some things I kind of want to talk about. Like when you mentioned about Black Widow.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got some things what they could do to improve her character. Like when you play as her. One is I'd say they should improve on the melee aspect of her, because I'm playing on PlayStation, so when you press the triangle button, you swap from gun to her 2 batons. Her batons, like the melee part, I'm being real, it's honestly dog shit.
Yeah.
I feel like they really should improve on working on the melee stuff.
What's funny is her batons actually do like slightly more damage than Moon Knight's regular melee, which is funny.
Yeah, they slightly do. And I wish the melee attacks looked more flashy, kind of similar how Spider-Man does the left, right, and then spin kick, something like that. Yeah, just to make it look flashy, make it look hits more.
I mean, after thinking about it a bit more with Black Widow's kit, I think what they kind of need to do is put less of a cooldown, or just give her 2 of those kick abilities, so that it's like Hawkeye has his get off me move, like the slash that like knocks people back. I think, but like Hawkeye can also he does way more damage than Black Widow more consistently too. But like I think they need to get rid of her cockback for her sniper.
I agree. You sorry.
And
You
I
go.
think, yeah, like I think I agree with the whole like buffing her melee damage. Her ult needs to have more damage. And yeah, there's probably some things that can improve her character.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about her ult. I feel like it's pretty useless because whenever I fire it at someone and that like whenever I do that, they just walk out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like that feels good. I was thinking what they should do is, the longer you hold it, the more damages it does. I feel like the longer you hold it, the bigger the area is. Like you should
Yeah.
like 10 to 15 seconds, not like 5.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I feel like the that kick ability, the get off me ability, that cooldown needs to be like, at least, 5-8 seconds. This should not be 15. It should not
Yeah.
be 15. Yeah, I don't even know why the kick ability, like even ability one of shot that she has.
Your mic is lagging really bad.
Yeah, I'm using iPad. I don't really have like a proper mic to speak with someone on Discord. So
That's
sorry.
all good.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing I do want to talk about is about Hawkeye. Yeah. Hawkeye. I feel like Hawkeye. He's damaged. It's absolutely fucking insane that he could easily just one shot someone, even looking.
You can 2-shot Doctor Strange if you get 2 full charge headshots.
He just can't seem to miss,
That's,
To the person in my chat saying Scarlet Witch nerf, you suck at the game, get better.
Scarlet. Well,
She needs to be buffed, not nerfed.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch definitely needs to be buffed.
Do you
I've
think
been playing
Spider-Man
as
needs to be nerfed?
Nah, Spider-Man's actually
I'd say he's
one of the most balanced characters in the game, actually.
I'd say
okay.
Spider-Man. I've played like 11 hours on him. Also, Colin, how come you're not playing as Spider-Man? I'll put you with the Spider-Man guy, huh?
I don't know, man. I'm not. There's better divers than him. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
I would rather play as Psylocke.
Yeah, Psylocke is cool too. Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man's a lot more situational than Psylocke. Psylocke can flank like pretty much all the time, unless there's like a Namor that's like good. It actually pisses me off that Namor is like as good as he is in the game because of fucking Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. I saw Wakanda Forever in cinemas too. I first watched it. I thought it was alright, and I thought Namor was an okay villain. But then when I rewatched the movie again and I watched your video, I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, this guy sucks ass.
Dude, I can't wait for the Ironheart show when we do our reactions to that.
Oh, Ironheart. Oh
man, I can't wait for that show. I can't wait for that shit. Dude, I wonder if they'll make the cop killing like a part of her character.
No, they're gonna double down on it and say it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how Ironheart just like grabbed like a fucking police car and just like threw at them.
Just carpet bombed them.
Like bombs away.
Well, I mean, as you know, there's no such thing as an innocent cop, therefore it's okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's the Marvel universe. Yeah. Another thing about Arcane. It's about Vi. Do you think Vi would have had more screen time? Because I feel like there's some scenes.
Nah, actually, I think I'm actually really satisfied with Vi's screen time. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really think they needed to do anything more with her. There's nothing really with her character that I wanted more of. Like, I feel like they concluded her character in like a really satisfying way.
Oh yeah, I agree that they did a great job with her character in the season.
Someone said Vi has the most screen time of any character in the show. I don't know if that's true. I think Jace is probably has the most screen time.
Oh, yeah. Never thought of that. But yeah, I was about to say, I kind of wish that we had more screen time about Vi in her pit fight era, or I don't know, goth era, you know, where she, you know, broke up with like Caitlyn and she's like fighting the people like in the cage fight. I wish
I
we
don't know.
got
I kind of like. Well, the thing, I get what you're saying. I think the thing for me is like I think the music video does a really good job at setting up what exactly happened to Vi after her fallout with Caitlyn and after what's it called? She couldn't bring herself to kill her sister again, and then like she's pushing away everybody. She's really drunk, and then like.
I mean, what are you talking about? She basically forced her to die at the end of the season.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, I think it's because, you know, when everyone saw the teaser, you know, like that 2-minute teaser of like you know, fighting people like, you know, in the arena, everyone was so hyped to see, you know, what Vi is gonna do, and then like it to like her waking up, and then you have Jing Vi's inside, sister.
I mean, listen, me personally, I just have a Vi mod for Sifu, so I got enough for her box and getting it in.
Yeah, oh, that looks awesome, man. I need to play Sifu though.
It's a very, very good game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Is that,
about it.
That's about it. All right.
I don't really have like any other like disagreement because I'm not like, you know, the other people that like don't stay to the, you know, season at all, or like I'm not like, oh, what did that guy say? I'm not a fucking My Little Pony like fan eater or some shit. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
It's funny that like bro says that like, oh, this season's so bad, and then he power scales a fucking mirror. Oh yeah.
Alrighty, yeah.
Hey,
See you later.
All right, see ya.
Here, thanks, Colin, for getting me here. Also, just want to say that I really enjoy your content. You too, SK.
Thank you.
Anyway,
thank you.
Have a good.
All right, see
You
ya.
too.
See ya.
I think.
Yeah, just pull in the next person, whoever.
Trav, Mr. Travasaurus. Travasaurus, you're on the line.
Is my mic working?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just a little quiet.
Yo.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Like talk closer. This one's for SK, unless Colin has changed his opinion on this. But I think Joker 2 is a masterpiece.
Yeah, with that one,
okay.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Alright, yeah, what about Joker 2?
I think it's good.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, I don't remember all the points there are to make against it, because I've only gone through it like a couple times, and it's been a while. But I guess the thing I'm gonna point to is why would Arthur change? Why is there no Joker anymore? Why is it just Arthur Fleck? Why does Arthur want that, even though the Joker has given him nothing but respect, admiration, everything that he couldn't as Arthur Fleck?
You mean like why does he change his opinion at the end?
Yeah, why would he change?
I would say it's mainly because of his relationship with Harley, because love changes people, and you could see that throughout the movie.
Yeah, but the only reason he got that respect to begin with is the same reason he got respect from everyone else, which is the fact that he was the Joker.
Right. So
Because remember, in the first movie, he had to settle for, like, imaginary girlfriends as Arthur Fleck. As Joker, he got that right away. So from his perspective, why would being Arthur Fleck be better for his life?
I don't think it would be better for his life. I mean, he says in front of the jury that he's had a fucking miserable life.
Yeah, but like, why would he change on that? Like, why would he go back to what he acknowledges was a miserable life?
Because I feel like at that point he kind of like accepted that his life was pretty much over because he was gonna get the chair, right?
Why would he accept that? I would expect Joker to be more spiteful towards the system and all those people, especially to the guards that literally raped him in prison.
I mean, was he not? I mean, he was.
No, he wasn't. What I would expect the Joker to do would be, I mean, to even use his movement and say, hey, these people, and you know, give off the names or whatever, say like, this is what they did to me, and get his movement like riled up and angry, like more motivated to do something. Like he would at least try to do something, to get back at them. If he's going down, they go down with him. Instead, he like takes accountability. He's like, you know, I was gonna go here and blame all of you, but you know, I did this, this, and that. He basically tries to take accountability, and throws nothing at anybody. Like he takes all the blame.
Okay, did you like Joker 1, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not something to watch over and over again, but yeah, it was a good movie.
Okay, that's fair. So, in Joker 1, when he goes on the talk show with Murray, right? He could have said, like what you were saying, how like the three guys at the subway beat him up and that's why he fought back. But he doesn't. And he doesn't do
I
that in
thought he
Joker
did.
2 either. No.
I mean, they literally bring it up in the courtroom scene. So I don't think that's information being withheld. Clearly there was an attempt to like make that known. And even then, like in the in the context of the scene where he admits to the murders, he's not taking accountability. That's just him being prideful. That's him saying, "Yeah, I did that. And if it was me, you wouldn't care." He's trying to make a wider point about society and how bad it is.
Right. So, wait, so you're saying in the courtroom scene in Joker 2, they brought up the subway attack?
Yeah, because the lawyer says the bullies on the subway. So it was mentioned that they were bullying him.
I just didn't remember that. So you're saying that means that the public would know about that, correct?
Yeah, and I also think it really just speaks to his intentions, that he doesn't really have the intention to take accountability. He'd have no reason to. And especially since the Joker persona again gives him respect for the first time, gives him like any kind of admiration that he wants. If he just gave that all up, then he'd be a nobody. Like the Arthur Fleck side is the life he wanted to take away from himself because of how bad it was. But the Joker changed that.
No, I wouldn't say he wants to like separate himself from Arthur Fleck completely.
I mean, that's what he does.
Or I worded that bad. I'd said that. Well, okay. I've always thought that. So Harley is in love with Joker, not Arthur Fleck, and Arthur Fleck is in love with Harley. So his decision at the end, I felt like kind of reflected that this is the true me, right? And Harley didn't like that.
Well, to the Joker, it's not really it's not a matter of a split personality. That's just who he is. That's just who he became. And I just see no reason for him to regress back into that state when that really brought him no benefits, whereas the Joker did.
Well, Okay, what benefits did it bring him?
It brought him respect. It brought him admiration. He got a girlfriend off it. He actually got attention. People listened to him instead of, as he puts it, just walking all over him if something bad happens to him. Now people have reason to stick up for him. But by him saying, well, there is no Joker, then he's gotten rid of that.
Okay, so let's go back to the ending of Joker 1, where he gets on top of the car dancing and then draws a smile on his face in blood. So, I've always thought this as to mean when he looks around at these people cheering him to paint a smile on his face in blood, he starts crying, and this is because people will only respect him if he becomes a monster, which he doesn't want to become.
Okay, so why would he see himself as a monster for what he did? If this is giving them what they deserve. Because from his perspective, he's the hero of his own story.
I think you mean, well, hang on. I guess that was a bad point on my part.
No, that's alright.
Well, at the end of, well, not at the end, at near the end of Joker 2, when he gets in the car with the Joker fanboys, right?
Yeah.
You can see that he's kind of like, what's up, Colin?
No, I was laughing at something on fucking Twitter.
Oh, my bad. You can see that he's kind of like, the fact that his followers are acting like this is like really affecting him. Right?
Negatively?
Yeah.
Why would it be negative?
Like he feels like this isn't what I wanted to inspire, or like this isn't what I wanted to make.
But it is, because in the first movie, he says that, well, he talks about how he's tired of being invisible all the time, but when he sees more and more people being inspired by his movement, from the killings of those Wayne employees, he gets excited from that. Like, throughout the movie, he sees more and more admiration towards himself. He's no longer invisible or just being walked past by. So I don't really see a reason why he'd react negatively to seeing his own supporters helping him out.
Well, it wasn't that they were helping him out, it was because they were talking about like burning the whole city down, and like I forget exactly what they said, but
they
it was
were getting
like
hurt
that.
for it too.
Huh?
It's because they were getting hurt for it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't think that would really trump what the Joker wants. I think
What do you
Joker's a
think
largely
he-
selfish character.
What do you think he wants?
He wants a better life for himself. He
Why?
wants respect, he wants love, admiration, for himself. That's why he's doing it. There's no point in the first Joker movie where he does it for other people or he actually cares for those other people.
There's no point where he doesn't.
He cares
No,
for everyone
there
less
is.
fortunate.
Him engaging in the movement, like, that inherently puts those people in danger. If they keep messing with the police, it puts them in trouble with the law, and he's fine with it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, but once he sees people like genuinely getting like killed for it, and like the fact that I think what they're
But
trying
he
to
knew
go
they
for.
could have gotten killed for it. The police were like pulling out guns to go after him. They started threatening his supporters with guns on the train, and he was just laughing.
You're laughing. No, I just think what they're going for is like he spends all this time in prison, and it starts to like the shit that he did. It starts to bring him less happiness. Like, yeah, he does throughout the movie. Like when the people are bringing it up to him, he's like kind of feeling happy about the support he's getting. But I think largely, like, I think what the movie is still going, like, even when it's giving him that, I still think largely what the movie is going for is like it's not actually like giving him like concrete happiness, because the first movie literally is about depression, and how like certain like, because when you do have depression, there are going to be things that like make you happy for periods of time, but eventually it's just going to die out and you're going to be depressed again. And like I think the point that they're going for is, I think Joker's reached a point, or Arthur and Joker, whatever the fuck you want to call him, has reached a point where it's like this isn't bringing him much happiness anymore, and people are just going to keep dying and nothing's really going to change.
But he
even
has
with what
respect.
they're doing.
He doesn't have that respect as Arthur Fleck. He's a loser as Arthur Fleck. He gets kicked
Well,
around because he's invisible.
yeah, but I just said I don't think he much cares about that anymore. He got
Why,
that,
though?
and it didn't. It's not bringing him much happiness anymore.
But it...
Like it initially did. Yeah, it did, and then it's not. I just said people when people with depression find something of happiness, it eventually fades away.
Yeah, and then he's depressed.
So
at the
That is
start of the second
that
movie.
is
So
a
there's
very
two things
real
to break down with that. One, him having that attention and happiness, or him having that respect, allowed him to get to Quinn to begin with. So I don't know why he wouldn't want to hold on to that just for his own gain. But
because he
also-
thought that well that's one point, because he thought that she actually loved him for him and not just because of the whole Joker persona.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what got him that attention to begin with.
Yeah, that he
That never
yeah
would've
that
happened
was
if he didn't
yeah that
have
was
the
his
Joker persona.
yes that was his mistake in thinking that that's what
Yeah,
the
he-
movie's that's the point.
No, but he still knows, like, no matter what kind of mistake he thinks he's made in the end, he still knows for a fact that he only gets all of this in the first place because of the Joker persona.
Yes, he does
It gives
subconsciously.
him, it
Well, yes,
doesn't just give him benefits in the short term, it gives him long-term benefits as well. He never would have gotten as far as he did if it wasn't for the movement. Like, that's a whole army he has in his pockets, basically. And he's just like, nah, it's fine.
SK, that doesn't really counter the like any of the points made. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It
like,
does.
no, it doesn't, because with the whole like, okay, I just explained to you like real world depression, which is very much what the first Joker movie is going for. I think you'd be kind of dumb to say it's not. That like you will find things that make you happy, get you what you want, which is what the first movie did. He got what he wanted. It made him happy. But eventually, that's going to slowly deteriorate, and you're going to become depressed again.
Okay, what does he want?
What do you mean, what does he want?
What does he want?
In the
at
first
end of the
movie?
Yeah.
In the first movie, I think...
No, the second one.
Oh, in the second one? I think he just... I think he
wants to do it
genuinely
thoroughly.
just want... I think he wants to... Yeah, I think he wants to start over.
Yeah, and how do you do that in a society? Like, do you just let yourself die in the courtroom and do nothing about it, or do you call up your army and try to have them stick up for you so you do have the opportunity to break out?
I don't think he
Especially
has
since it
any
doesn't
like
really
real
matter if he's
power.
depressed or not,
Mhm.
and if things like fade away, he's still going to innately feel a level of spite towards the guards that did what they did to him. He's
I'm not
gonna
saying
he's
he
not going to
won't.
take accountability as a response to that. Like, why would that situation make him go in the mode of like, okay, I need to take accountability for this, and that, versus I need to get back at these people for what they did to me?
Because I don't think
Why
he's
would
at a
you prefer
point.
one over the other?
Can I explain that?
Yeah,
I was just
I'm
about
just
to.
clarifying the question.
Alright, because again, I don't think he wants to put up this whole theatricality stuff with this whole Joker persona again. I think when it comes to Harley, like, because that comes twofold, I think, with that question. Like, when it comes to Harley, it connects to kind of the answer I'm giving. It's like he kind of subconsciously knows that like she only wants him for the Joker thing, but he like kind of deludes himself into thinking that she wants Arthur as well. So when you're asking like, okay, why would he not want to get back at these guards? Da, 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 da. It's again, I think he's kind of letting go of the theatricality stuff. I think he's saying, okay, I want my supporters to stop doing this stuff. I want them to stop trying to help me and support me because that's just going to make their lives worse the same way that my life got shitty. So I don't want them to continue following in my footsteps. And I think when he says that, like, takes accountability in the courtroom, I think he is ready to like die, like at that point in the movie. But I think when the courtroom explosion happens, he sees it as a chance. Okay, I can escape. I don't have to die. I don't have to take the death penalty. I can go and try and find Harley, and we can start over. I can get what I just wanted. I can get what I was just explaining in the courtroom. I wish I could just start over and burn it all down, whatever the hell he says verbatim. That's the chain of events, and I think that's the logic that I'm following.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
and that's
the problem
what-
with
that's
that
when he
is that
realizes
they make very clear that he's willing to use his movement to overpower any obstacles in his life, whether it be the law enforcement, whether it be anybody that's like getting in his way. Whatever it is, he's very much willing to use the movement. He does
That
this
doesn't
in the
counter
first
the
movie.
point. That doesn't counter.
It does, and I'll get into why. The reason.
Well,
it
I want
counters
to
the
make
point
sure
is because-
you have that point clarified because I don't think you do. I'm saying what you're saying. It doesn't counter the point that he gets tired of that. Like what you think he has in the first movie is irrelevant because he's growing as a character and changing. The reason I don't think you can bring up the first movie, like him using his movement, or even in the second movie, is because he gets tired of that, and he doesn't want these people to continue ruining their lives the same way his did. Change the system, make a statement, call out society.
My point wasn't about changing the system.
I just said three different
using
things.
his ability to change it for his own benefit, so that he can be with Quinn.
Okay.
He could have come up with a plan to have them break him out while he goes to the courtroom instead of just doing nothing and accepting that he dies. I don't know why he would do that.
When has he ever like purposely used the clowns like to get out of something?
In the third act of the first Joker movie.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
That was completely by
He
happenstance.
They literally overpowered the cops in the subway.
That was
They
yeah,
literally
but
slowed them
he didn't.
down.
He didn't. Yeah,
That's
wait,
because
wait,
they
wait.
wanted to do
No,
that.
they wanted to do that. He didn't like call in the troops. He didn't call in backup.
Yeah, but because he has no connections to them yet. He doesn't even know how big that movement is. Where he didn't even know they do that. But when he sees them do it, he's like, "Oh, awesome!" and he starts laughing. He's completely satisfied by it.
Yeah, but that's
but
before he
that doesn't mean that he
changes.
did it.
Well, no, but that's irrelevant because what I'm saying is that.
No, it is relevant.
No,
It
saying-
I'll tell you why that's relevant. I'll tell you why.
No,
that's
no,
relevant.
no. Listen, buddy.
No. Shut the fuck up. You too, buddy. No, here's the problem, though. It's like literally before he even went in to say there is no Joker, whatever. He literally could have planned it so that he uses the movement to break him free, get them to revolt angrily against the system, and then free him from the predicament.
Why would
he's
he
in.
but I'm
wanna-
saying,
okay,
like-
but wait. Well, why at that point in the movie when he's reached a point where he doesn't want these people to continue getting themselves hurt? Because he's
you know what? Let's
because
run
you're
with
doing
that.
wait
Let's
you're
run with
doing
that.
you're
Let's run with that.
wait
No,
you're doing this whole like
we'll
oh my
switch to
God,
that.
okay.
We'll switch to that. I actually want to. I want to entertain
Alright.
this.
Yeah, go
So if
ahead.
that's the case, if he doesn't want them to get themselves hurt so badly, then why doesn't he just tell them, "Hey, that's enough. You're gonna get yourself killed doing this. You're only gonna hurt other people. You need to stop the movement. You need to stop listening to me." Why doesn't he tell those people? Because
I mean, that
they
is-
didn't
that is
get the message on
that
the
is-
TV.
Wait, that is basically what.
No, that's
Whoa,
not.
whoa,
No,
whoa,
it's
whoa,
not.
whoa,
It's
whoa.
not. It's not.
That
And
is
the proof-
basically what he
no,
says.
No, it's not. It's not, and I'll explain why. The people in the car did not see the message on the TV because they're planning that whole bombing and whatever and retrieving him.
That's just because they
don't get
didn't
the
listen.
message,
That's
and he
just because
doesn't
they
tell
didn't
them.
listen to what Joker was trying to say.
What?
That's just because they didn't listen to what Joker was trying to put
He never
forward.
tried to tell them anything.
He's speaking from his own experience and saying,
They
"I wish."
they didn't see the TV thing. They didn't see it on TV. They were planning the thing. You can't.
Well,
be on
they're
TV
bad.
You can't blame that. You can't blame some random other people's actions on Joker. Like what?
Yes,
That
you
doesn't
can.
even
He
make sense.
directly
No, it
inspired them.
doesn't.
That,
Yeah,
but your
that's
whole
the
point is that he
All right, you know
because
what?
he
No,
inspired them. That's your whole
no,
point.
no, it's not.
That was what you
What
brought
was
up. You
he?
said that
You're
him
What
being
was
the
he
no,
supposed
Joker
to
was
do
going to get other
different?
people hurt.
You're misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding the point. I think when he is explaining it, he is essentially saying, I'm done blaming everyone for this miserable life. I can't be this figure that you guys want me to be. That's what he's saying. I can't be that guy for you guys anymore. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, but you just
Because-
said that it's going to get other people killed in his movement that he supposedly cares about.
Yeah, but you're saying you want him to
So
be
why
like...
doesn't he tell
doesn't.
those people
Listen,
that free
you're
him
saying
and
you...
get the message?
I didn't even hear what you just said. I'm sorry.
Why
Repeat
doesn't
that.
he free? Why doesn't he tell those people that tried to free him and say, "Stop with this whole Joker shit. Stop listening to what I say."
He
It's
did,
only
right?
gonna
He
get
ran
people
away
killed."
from them. He literally
No,
did. He
no.
ran away from them.
He didn't. Hold up. He didn't tell them anything. He just ran away, and they're only left to assume that he ran away to go with Quinn.
Why would he? Well, yeah, why would he start sitting there and yapping to him, giving him a stern talking to, like, yo, listen, guys.
Yeah,
Because
that doesn't even make
apparently
sense
He
for-
cares
why
about
would-
them so much, right? Because he cares about their well-being so much, right?
Yeah, because he can tell. I
They're not
think he
gonna
can
have like
clearly
a
tell that
father-son
these.
sit down.
Yeah, that's
talk.
so weird, like to
What do
happen.
you mean? He literally had a sit down in the TV screening that you're saying makes sense because he wants to help these people.
That's completely
was different.
That's a completely
How
different
is that
scenario,
different?
dude.
He's still talking to his
because
followers.
okay,
Because he had to
He's literally
say.
having a
let's
sit
run
down.
it back. Let's run it back to
Okay,
the line of logic that I previously put forward earlier. Okay, let's do that. Okay, in the courtroom, he's fine with dying. He's taking accountability right there. When they blow it up, okay, boom. I have a second chance. I can run and I can go get Quinn.
He had a
Boom. The
second
guys
chance
take
before he
him
had
in
a
his
movement.
stop. I'm not done. The guys take him in his car. He sees he sees the way the dudes are acting. He doesn't like it. He gets out. He's not validating those people's experiences. Just because he's not saying, "Listen, bud, you shouldn't be doing this, man." That doesn't mean
You just said that he cares so much about their well-being.
he does, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean he has
So
to
then why
do
does
it
he just
exactly
leave
the way
them-
that
leave
you're
them to
putting
think what
forward.
they're doing is okay? Why does he leave them to think that?
SK, this criticism is literally, this is what I would do, so you should
No,
be
it's not
doing
about
it.
what I.
too.
No.
Yes, it is.
You just appealed to what Joker did. You said that
What do you
Joker
mean?
made
Yeah,
that message to
exactly.
his followers because he cared about them so much. So I said, if he cared about
I'm
them so
putting-
much, why didn't he do the same for these people? It's not about what I would do. It's about what you
Because
would
because they are following. Okay, I'm gonna say this. They are following his example. So if he's running away from them and not validating what they are doing, like he was before, like when they broke him out of the cop car and he's like sitting there parading with them, he's instead of running away from them, and trying to get away from them, even though they're like idolizing him and shit. I think that's his way. I genuinely can't even fathom a reality where Arthur Fleck's gonna be like, "Listen, bud, you can't be doing this."
He does it
like that's
in the
just so
courtroom.
weird.
He basically
That's not
does
it.
it in the courtroom.
That's a completely different context.
It is
He
not
had
a
to-
different context.
I'll
The
explain
context is
why.
him-
I'll
He had to
explain.
give a closing
you
statement.
just said he did that in the courtroom scene because he cared about their well-being and that they're just gonna get themselves killed.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. What I said is what he said. I can't be this guy for you guys anymore. I can't be this figure for you guys
Yeah,
to
he said it
follow.
on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TV that they weren't watching because they were busy doing the plan, and they still
Why does
think
that
he's
matter?
Why
actually
does that
Joker.
matter? How does he know that they weren't watching the TV? What?
Because wait. So you're telling me that they were watching the TV while they were setting up the bomb and setting the car into
I
motion?
didn't. We didn't say that.
Yes. Wait. Hold on. First of all, there are TVs outside. We literally saw Harley watching one in an earlier scene in the movie.
So again, they're not going to be focused on watching the TV while they're actively doing the bombing plan.
The bombing happened after his statement. What?
That's irrelevant. They were planning it before
What are
he
you
made the statement.
talking
They were
about?
planning
I
it
give
before
up.
they
I
made the
give up. I
statement.
give up.
They
I
were
give up.
planning
It was like
it
the next
before
day.
they made the statement.
I quit.
I don't think
quit.
you get
Goodbye,
it. When you're
GGs.
planning a plan that complex and shit, you're going to
Goodbye,
be mostly
GGs.
focused on that. So and
GGs.
if they're
Yes,
still
I'm
doing
sure.
it,
I'm very.
yet
I'm
them
sure.
still
I'm
doing
sure.
it
I'm
proves
sure
that
that's
he
what's going
believes
through
that-
Arthur's
that he
head
has
right
reason
now.
to
I'm sure
believe
that's
that
what's
they
going
don't know
through
what he
Arthur's
just
head
said.
right now.
Yes, it's very
They're not
realistic
caught
for
up.
Arthur to be this logical and tactical about his
Why are
his
they
plan
still?
for
Why did
this
they
in
still
this
respect
moment.
him if he just did? Why would they even bother with a bomb plan if they also heard him say there is no Joker? Why would they put themselves on the line for him at that point?
Because it doesn't matter what he said; they're still gonna ride for him.
What?
They said when he ran away, "We still love you, Joker."
Wait a minute. You just said that they already got the message. But
Oh
if
my
they
god,
clearly
that's not what I
didn't, if they're
meant by
still
the
doing
SK.
the
You're
plan,
not
if
SK.
they're
You're
putting
taking
everything on the line for it.
SK. Stop. You done?
Yeah.
Because I'm genuinely about to quit. Like I'm so you're being so obtuse about this, and you're taking everything super literally. You said he should be talking to them because they didn't get the message clearly because they just set up this elaborate bomb scheme. One, what I said was they could have saw that on TV and they just don't care.
And they
That's
could
what
not
I'm
have as
basically.
well.
Okay, what is that? Why does that mean that Arthur has to
Why
go
would
into
Arthur
hyper?
assume they've seen
Let me
it while
finish.
they're
I'm
setting
not
up
done.
this
I'm not done. I'm not done.
complicated
I'm
plan?
not done. I'm not done. Why would Arthur go into this hyper logical mode and be like, "Hold on, wait"?
It's not about hyper logic. It's not about
Yes,
hyper
it is. No, it literally is.
Okay, what information does he have? The information he has is that they clearly didn't get the message, so he would try to tell them the message if they don't get it.
Yeah, so he's running away from them because he's not thinking like how you're thinking right now.
What? What does running away have to do
The
with
whole
anything?
basis, the whole bit,
All
because the
that
whole bit.
communicates
Okay,
is that
stop.
He's in a state of panic.
Wait, stop. Yeah, literally that. The whole basis for your criticism is he should be saying this because
No.
this
It's
is what
not
I
even,
think.
That's not even the criticism I
that
have.
is
I'm
the
saying that's why your
criticism. What do you
interpretation
mean?
doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. My interpretation still works because I'm
It
not
doesn't.
thinking of. You're saying my interpretation
He never
doesn't
cared
work.
about them in the first place
Oh
either.
my
I mean,
god.
that's the first problem with it. The second problem is this.
I'm not done. Let me finish my fucking sentences, dude. I'm so tired. I don't have fucking patience for this.
This is bringing me back to Spider-Man PS4.
Okay, your entire basis for your interpretation doesn't work is because you think that Arthur should be saying something, when in my interpretation it makes complete sense for him not to be saying something because he's in a fucking state of panic running to try and get away from this whole situation, and he's not trying to have these dudes be like, now listen, champ, that's not okay. Like, that makes no sense. Like, that doesn't discredit my interpretation.
That you're defending.
Oh my god, how many times do I have to explain that
and let me add on to this. Yeah, he might be in a state of panic from the bombing.
I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
If he cared about them so much, hang on.
Alright,
If
goodbye.
he cared about them so much, he'd also
I'm sorry,
be panicking
I'm sorry,
for
Trav,
them.
you're on your own. I
If-
give up. I don't have the
when
patience for
people
this
panic
shit.
about things, they'll still communicate information. Maybe not in the best of ways, but there's still an attempt. He doesn't even try to communicate anything.
His attempt is running away.
Yeah, his
That doesn't say
communication is
anything.
running
All they're gonna
away.
grab from that is, oh, he's escaping because that's nearby his apartment. That's nearby where he wants to be.
How does they know that?
How would they know that? Even though he
Yeah.
They're near the
knows that, and
stairs.
they wouldn't.
Why would they know that? What? How would they know that?
How does Lee know that? Wouldn't it be all over the news? That's literally where the crime scene for the guy's death would have been. The guy who got stabbed in
What?
the eyes.
What the
Like,
fuck
they
are you
would piece
talking?
that together over time. So just seeing him run there,
you talking about
that wouldn't tell
are you
them
talking
anything
about the-
about, oh, he just wants everybody to quit and knock it off.
Wait,
That's
wait,
not
he
gonna
wasn't. Wait,
communicate
we
that.
don't. Hold on.
Are you
He
talking
wasn't.
about like
doesn't
the,
even
Hold on, you're
matter
wrong.
in the
Well, hold on,
first
you're
place
wrong.
because
You're
when
wrong.
they
You're
see
wrong.
him
You're
running,
wrong.
they're
Wait,
like, "Yo, what are you
SK,
doing? What are you doing?"
SK, you're wrong. Because you want to know why?
Why?
Because when he runs away, it's the middle of the day. It's broad daylight. When he gets to Harley, when he gets to his house, it's fucking nighttime. The sun is going down. That is hours away. So no, he's not close to his apartment. What the fuck are you talking about?
What? I assumed he left at
Bruh.
that point because it was close to his apartment.
Why would you assume that?
Well,
what
like,
what is the
relatively
basis
close.
of you?
Relatively
No,
close.
that's
left
that's
to
the
find
problem. You're
Harley.
assuming it for the wrong reason.
No, I
left to
think that
find
would just
Harley.
make sense that he's gonna
Nah,
leave
congratulations,
at a
Pippin,
I
you
think he
played
would just
yourself.
leave at a time where he's closer to his apartment. I think that's a
Go
logical thing to
Buster.
assume about
Go
what he's doing.
Buster. I will not even dignify the rest of this conversation with a response. You're stupid.
I mean, you never proved in the first place that he cared about his supporters. He's willing
You
to
never-
prioritize what he wants over the well-being of his supporters.
Okay.
Like, I've already
You
proven that earlier.
you've never proved that you shower.
That's crazy.
Well, all right, then. That wraps the Joker 2 one.
Exactly.
All right, well, okay, well, look. So his ideology in the first movie is that the rich and powerful are bad, and that those less fortunate need to be.
Wait, we're still
like,
I think we're done with Joker 2 at this point, to be honest.
Okay, well.
Yeah, we went in circles on this. And
I was trying
there's
to.
still quite a bit of people. Don't have a whole lot of time either, so yeah.
I'm
Right.
so. I just need to make it to fucking like 11 o'clock so I can have a normal sleep schedule for at least a couple days. Like.
Alrighty. I mean that's it. It doesn't show me the name because streamer mode, but T. Thank you for coming on. We're gonna have someone else on, so yeah.
Thanks. I didn't mean to make that such a big deal.
No, you're good. You're good. This was fun, actually. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Listen, there's no debate between me and SK that doesn't go that way.
All right, yeah.
All right.
We'll see you later.
All right, see ya. Thanks for having me on.
I don't know who was next on here. I've seen this guy, so I'm gonna take a wild guess. All right, Z, you're on the line. What's the disagreement? Tell us what.
It was a dose.
Hey, yo,
It was a dokester.
I was sleepy as shit. Damn.
Everybody is, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm like mentally like fucked right now. Anyway, I just want to clarify right now. So I'm up here for Sonic 3. I just want to clarify. I have no problems with Sonic 3, but there's just like, I guess nitpicks about it. Or
So you don't have problems, but you have problems.
Yeah. I guess it's just that there's things that just don't make sense to me, and I'm just wondering if you can clarify.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
So, the first problem I have is, well, for me personally, I just don't understand why when they went over to Green Hills, Montana to meet with Sonic, why did they exactly take a helicopter over them to Tokyo when Team Sonic could have actually just ran over to Tokyo instead?
They used the ring, and then they.
They used the ring to teleport there.
Oh damn!
With the helicopter, so they could drop in. What's the problem with that?
Get the drop on him.
Yeah. Also, they can't. No, they were across the planet. They were literally on the other side. Sonic almost died when he ran across not even like barely a bit of water in the second movie. Why would all of them like I don't think Knuckles could do that.
Yeah, probably not.
It would also just drain their stamina for no reason.
What else? Yeah. When they went to fight Shadow, when they were fighting Shadow, I just didn't understand. Like, right after they just got their asses kicked, Shadow, he like out of nowhere just spawned a gun and a motorcycle. I looked at
you
that.
can hide a lot of things in your coils. They show this in the last movie.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh shoot. Hold up. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta take care of something. So I gotta end abruptly, but this has been fun. I'll see you later.